God.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. During the intro music, you guys have pushed almost to a level 4 hype train. We're 74% of the way to a level 83% of the way to a level 4 hype train. While
Honestly,
the music
for
is
that,
playing.
I'll let y'all in on a secret. Tommy does, in fact, know how to count to 15.
But not in Spanish.
But not in. I did in the zero hour there forget what 15 was in Spanish. We are at level 4 on the hype train. Level 4 achieved. You guys are insane. We're so glad to be back. We missed you guys for the last couple of weeks. We had a last minute cancellation. There's the word.
That's the word.
Last minute cancellation, and then I unfortunately made myself very not available.
Very successful.
I made myself very not available. As we were doing Poncho Palooza over on my channel, the Jolly Poncho.
I told them we could do it without a GM, but nobody wanted to do it.
You guys are crazy. Oh my god. Let's go. Let's shout out some thanks before we get started here. Okay, we got Argalam dropped a resub for 25 months. Argalam has been subbed. Boo dropped a sub. Packwalk dropped some biddies. We got Boo also dropped 400 bits. Argalam dropped 10 gifted. Holy shit, Argalam. Getting that pre-stream hype. We got the hype train going full strength. We are at 20% of the way to level 5 now. We got some more bits from Packwalk, more bits from Boo, more bits from Chris. Hi, Chris. How's it going? Hello, Carnaxis. How are you? Laura, how are you? Lovely, lovely. And another gifted sub from Packwalk. You guys are insane. Thank you all so much.
I gotta give a shout out to Packwalk for gifting a sub and revealing that Addy is not subbed to the channel.
I used my Twitch Prime to sub to somebody else.
That's a good point though that Addy makes. You, I guess we'll get to there. Roman, that's Roman spiel. I'm not going to steal Roman spiel.
How dare
I stopped. I'm sorry. I came off of the Poncho Palooza. All I know how to do is keep hyping up hype trains.
You got too excited.
I got too excited. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. Hi, my name's Tommy Cotton. With me, as always, Dan Barron, Addy, Gia, Seth, Lily, Roman, Mylan. We are here to play some Manifest, the RPG for you guys. We missed you. We ended on quite the cliffhanger of sorts 2 weeks ago, so now we are ready finally to continue this. Yeah, really. That's when you're like, wait, they're not. It's like the holiday season. They're off for the rest of December. No. Oh my lord. Okay, so we are here to play, but before we jump into the actual play, all of these wonderful people have some stuff to talk to you about, or at least some of these wonderful people have stuff to talk to you about. Wonderful people, talk about stuff.
Oh, right. So as you may know, February is Black History Month. Oh, wow. Sorry. That's my, I know that's very strange. My apologies. Totally my fault. As you may know, February is Black History Month. So for our charity, we will be bumping the Center for Black Equity. The CBE believes in dignity and respect for all human beings, regardless of age, race, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, disability, religion, and or national origin. They work to promote a multinational LGBTQ plus network dedicated to improving health and wellness opportunities, economic empowerment, and equal rights while promoting individual and collective work, responsibility, and self-determination. They aim to achieve equality and social justice for Black LGBTQ plus communities through economic equity, health equity, and social equity. They are a really, really cool company and program, and so I highly recommend you visit their website, which the link is being posted in the chat right now, either down there or over there. You'll see. You'll figure it out. And if you have the time or space or money or anything that you can give to them, please do so. They're really, really cool. I'll pass it on to the next wonderful person, which I think is Roman.
Yeah, that's me. Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. We're so happy to have you. It seems like y'all are happy to have us. It's wonderful. The feeling is mutual. We love y'all so much. I thank you so much. And hey, look, we've been gone a couple weeks, and sometimes that happens, and it's fine. And sometimes if you can't remember whether or not we're going to be live, Well, there's a button you could click, and Twitch will tell you when we're live. There's several buttons, in fact. You have options. Do you know how rarely you have options on what button to press to do a thing? If you're typing an email, you can't get like a P or an O or an I. No, you have to hit the right one. But Twitch says, no, fuck that. We're here for you. And those buttons are right under me. It's the heart and the bell. You can follow the stream. You can get notifications from Twitch when we're live. And you can hit that big purple button and subscribe or gift subs if you're already subscribed. And all that support you give, all that support y'all have already given goes back into improving the stream, to getting us better equipment, guest stars, all sorts of cool stuff to make the show even better. And we appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so absolutely much for rocking with us. And now if I don't say this, Tommy is going to be right and he'll say it. And so I'm going to say it. Look, Jeff Bezos is out there somewhere in the metaverse hiding. And if you find him, you get $1 billion and control of his company, like in Ready Player One. And I'm announcing that officially here. Mark Zuckerberg has deputized me to make that announcement. In the meantime, Jeff Bezos is licking your $5 every month and he's putting it in his pocket. Don't let Jeff Bezos do that. If you've got Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription. If you give that to us, we would be so appreciative. We love y'all so much. We love your support. We appreciate you so, so much. Please follow our socials. Please follow Laura Dern on Instagram. And if I may do just a touch of my own self-promotion, go ahead, if you would, and check out my podcast, All Sequels Go to Heaven, because we got an episode coming out tomorrow with the one and only Seth Lilly.
What? I don't
This
remember
Seth
recording
Lilly?
that.
Oh no.
How could you remember? You were in the Matrix the whole time. That's right. We did Matrix Resurrections with Seth, and it's a fun, really funny, really weird episode, as so many of them are. Seth was such a welcome addition. We had so much fun hanging out. Y'all should go check it out when it goes live tomorrow. It was absolutely wonderful. All Sequels Go to Heaven, wherever podcasts are sold. Well, if they're sold, you've done it wrong. It should be free. But also, if it's not on your favorite podcatcher, let me know and I'll try to get it on there. Thank you. We love you. Mwah. Day late Valentine's Day kiss.
Yay.
And now I'm going to pass it over to the wonderful, lovely Addie Gia.
Hello. I'm Eddie. In case you weren't sure, it's me. Yeah, and I'm here to remind you that on those rare weeks where we aren't here, another great way to get Waypoint Live and Manifest content is to support us via our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Waypoint Game Designs.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that
Yes.
one.
There's no
and you can head over there, become a patron. You get cool stuff, behind the scenes look at what we're doing and how we're living life here at the company. Also, an adventure every week. Every month. Gosh,
No,
can you
God, don't
imagine?
promise them that.
Every month, as well as a very cool blog post that usually has a cool feature or two as well. And it also gets you into our patrons and Kickstarter supporters only Discord, which and you get your own cool private channel with the other people who are patrons. So you can connect with the high rollers there. I'm gonna stop. Anyway, that's about it. I always feel like I'm supposed to say more and then don't, so I'm just going to throw it over to Tommy where he's going to lie to you about the economy, as he is wont to do.
Look, here's the thing. Give me grit. No.
Honestly, hey, just bring that energy, Tommy. It's honest and true, and we love it. Ask for what you want.
Up here in the corner, we all have grit. You'll notice that I'm starting above my normal 8 because sometimes what would be one session of Manifest has to be split into 2 episodes of this actual play. And so sometimes I hold on to my grit passing between episodes because it's the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, the grit economy crashes. Trust me, I know the grit economy really well. So anyways, oh, okay. I got some grit. Chris is showing how it's done. So you as viewers have channel points that we call viewer grit. You can access them. There's a little waypoint star built into the frame of your stream chat. You can use that to look at all the things you can spend channel points on. You can use them to unlock emotes that you don't have, modify emotes, highlight your messages, stuff like that. But also you can use the viewer grit to give grit to either one of the players or myself. Up here in the corner, that's how much grit we have. Now they can only have a maximum of 12 grit, whereas I have no such maximum. Now, normally this is where I would say, there is probably a limit to the amount of grit that one could spend. Like me, like if you were to give me a ton of grit, like I would not be able to do it like very much. And I'd have to like sit there and be like, sorry, there's nothing for me to do. But as you may recall, they're currently a threshold away from potentially Leo Riggs, the man they've been hunting, the man who they have stood opposed against, and also the man who holds the key to their to them clearing their name. And so if there was ever an episode where I would have the opportunity to spend a just obscene amount of grit to make things harder for these lovely adventurers, that would be this episode.
Can I translate that real quick, Tommy?
Well, so inversely, I will say if there's ever an episode where they maybe are in the most dire straits they can be in and possibly need all the help they can get from you, it would also be this episode.
Yeah, just a quick translation. If you want to vote for the bad ending, send grit to Tommy. If you want to vote for the good ending, send grit to us.
Isn't good and bad a relative? Wait, I should save this for Leo. Never mind.
Hey, I've been playing this for 46 episodes. No.
It's a speed run, so we're probably going for the bad ending.
Yeah, all you gotta do is walk to the left at Mass Effect.
Okay, so we get +1 grit from to the GM from Chris, who just said, okay, when I said, give me grit. We have +1 grit to Eloise from Boo saying, best girl.
Boo, hi.
We have +1 grit to Porter from Fiddler Undone with a Porter emoji.
Fiddler single-handedly keeping Porter alive.
Another +1 grit to Eloise from the Pack Walk with an Eloise emoji.
Guys, stop. H is at the stop.
And +1 grit to Dex from Chris saying Dex seems way more gritty than a bowl of grits. What?
I could be breakfast.
Ooh.
Are you sure you're not just a snack?
There it is. Also, while I'm thinking about it, Addie, we should have made a Valentine's squonk. I think we should constantly update the squonk emote
it right now.
to be new.
I'm on it right now.
Be whatever the holiday is. Oh, and +1 grit to Laura the Bard saying, my truest love, Gus. Doesn't really need this, but he hasn't gotten one yet. That puts Gus up to 12. Gus is now maxed out on grit until he spends grit.
Thank you so much. I'll spend it immediately and double down, probably.
Another +1 grit to Dex. We need to get Dex into the coveted double down flashback double down territory, which he's not there yet.
Double down flashback. I took a turn already that we haven't resolved.
It's like auto attack canceling in League of Legends. That's how you get off the most attacks per turn.
Okay, so you can keep the grit coming if you like, but what we are going to do is in preparation of the recap, which will be robust given the fact that we have been off the air for quite some time, getting into that recap. But the first thing we have to do is transport our minds to the world of Manifest by looking at truly remarkable, cool character art by the wonderful Kate May. Enjoy. And we're back. Okay, while we were away, another +1 grit to Eloise from Carnaxis saying holiday squonk.
Holiday squonk.
Okay, so previously on Manifest Actual Play, let's start at maybe close to the beginning. These 4 drifters met in Waypoint, where they took on a job to deliver some very, very sensitive electronics to a town called Las Viudas. Along the way, they were ambushed by some well-equipped bandits whose equipment bore a symbol that caught Dexter Bailey's eye. Dexter Bailey, our gunslinger in residence. Wanting to investigate this symbol and its origin a little bit more, Dex effectively recruited these other 3 drifters to tag along because they had all kind of bonded over the experience and they were all a little curious as to what was going on. When they returned to Waypoint, they were sidetracked by the fact that the it's not the 501st, but the something battalion movement brigade. Yeah,
An analog for the 501st.
The 108th Maneuver Enhancement Brigade from Fort Dearborn, specifically Daedalus Battalion, about 500 soldiers from the Fort Dearborn militia had bivouacked outside Waypoint, which was basically only sort of legal for them to do. They were doing so because they were hunting for something in the mountains, and these 4 drifters got mixed up in that. The thing they were hunting for in the mountains was an escaped test subject from Brimstone Garrison, a man who had been turned effectively into a luminescent monster, feral in nature and extremely dangerous. With the help of these 4 drifters, the militia was able to put down this man turned beast, and then they were kind of in hot waters there because they had seen some pretty sensitive military stuff. They got out of that hot water because they had Mayor Alex Graves of Waypoint on their side, and then the militia went on their way. They then basically were being hunted by the illegal arm of that militia, a mercenary company called Black Star, who was trying to kidnap Eloise and Gus to make them into test subjects at Brimstone Garrison. During their time avoiding capture from Black Star, they hooked up with the Free People's Coalition, the origin of that symbol that the bandits had on their guns. The Free People's Coalition, a freedom fighting force that was trying to buck the authority of the Fort Dearborn militia at large, and basically try to undo some of the growing anti-illuminated sentiment that was overtaking the territory. Free People Coalition was led by none other than Leo Riggs under the moniker The Raven. Leo Riggs turned out to be a bit of a luminescent supremacist, where he didn't necessarily want a fair and balanced land where the laws are just. He wanted the non-illuminated people to sort of be way, way below the illuminated people. And so these drifters were like, we don't want nothing to do with that. Around that time, Eloise and Gus were captured by Black Star and transported to Black Star Garrison, where they were subject to truly horrific experiments by a man named Ulysses S. Pruitt, who we later found out was in fact Owen Lemaire, a long dead, ancestor of the Legionnaires of Astoria, a man who is an Everlight, which means his consciousness and existence continues as he possesses various objects and bodies. At this point, he was possessing Ulysses Pruitt, and he created a serum. He took 1 dose of that serum himself and gave the other dose to Leo Riggs in exchange for some information that he wanted. Then he disappeared. At this moment, Dex realized that Leo Riggs' next move was going to be trying to figure out how to defeat Owen Lemaire, and learn about Owen Lemaire, which meant that Dex understood that Leo was going to be heading to the Legionnaires Guild Hall. The Legionnaires of Astoria, a gunslinger guild on Manifest, one that these 4 drifters were already planning on going to visit because they had acquired some Legionnaire guns, and Gus had made an oath to return them to the guild hall. Cue a long journey where Dex became a full-fledged gunslinger. They fought some terrifying things in the Heartwood Forest, and they eventually arrived at the Legionnaires' Guild Hall, where things were slightly amiss. The power had been knocked out suspiciously during a storm, and these drifters realized that that could be a good opportunity for Leo Riggs, someone who is capable of literally moving within shadows, to do his dark deeds. So they put the castle on high alert, and at that point the head of the Legionnaires, Morgan Branya, was murdered, presumably by Leo. Confirmed by Leo, because Eloise witnessed her final moments. And then the people who were in the guild hall bunkered down in the in sort of the Great Hall, while these four drifters and the head scribe Vance Branya made their way down towards the archives, where they suspect Leo was planning on stealing or researching information on Owen Lemaire. When they arrived at the door to the archives, smoke and fire billowed out from under the cracks. At this time, Vance opened the door, and that is where we ended last session. So, to set the stage, I believe Porter and Eloise are in the back. Dex and Gus are right behind Vance. Vance has unlocked the large doors to the archives. The smoke, not quite filling this hallway, but definitely like kind of seeping out. You can smell the fires within. And Vance pushes on the door, and as it creaks open, it then bursts at the hinges. And I need everyone to roll a defense test for me.
Friggin' backdraft on us.
I can't remember if I had Sixth Sense up or not. I feel like I did, but I don't remember.
I mean, I think you did. Everyone was getting ready for a fight at this time.
Cool. That's great, because I did mark off that I have spent shine. So okay.
Does Devil's Own Luck work for this? Do I count as having light cover?
Yes.
Like, obviously this thing can't take a penalty, I assume.
No, this is an opposed test.
Oh, okay. Well.
Gosh. So many dice to choose from.
I am gonna spend 2 grit to play to the gallery, so that 2 of these dice can explode.
I just got a 13, and I'm hanging out.
Same.
I'm just living on it.
Did I write it down? Should I re-roll Sixth Sense, since I can't remember what my bonuses are and can't find the sticky note I wrote it on?
I suppose so.
Okay.
Unless anyone in the chat distinctly remembers, but we've been off the air for 2 weeks. Who knows?
I made the mistake of cleaning my desk.
You fool.
It looks beautiful.
Okay, so you guys are up against the 15.
Oh.
So it does matter how many hits.
Can I not have spent that grit then? I was very overconfident. That's
that's fine.
That's my
you do
question.
You do get to know what you're up against before you spend grit. You were just a little gung ho.
15 -1.
Yes, they can. Okay. So what did everyone get? I know I think Gus and Dex got 13s.
Yeah, we were holding hands.
That's so cute.
And Porter's got a high of 11.
I have 11. Okay, that's good. That's good. Eloise?
I am resolving my Sixth Sense. So that is a plus 3. I have a 17.
That's 17. Okay.
Yeah.
Tough to beat.
So Eloise, you are fine.
Yes.
Dex, Gus, and Porter, all of you take 4 damage with 6 of which is armor piercing.
Because that's 4 successes on my Sixth Sense test.
Sorry,
which gives
4
me
damage,
plus
all of
3.
which is armor piercing.
I was
The piercing
confused.
value is higher than the amount of damage I dealt.
But I got you.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, and then there is one other attack that is coming out, and it is going towards Gus and Eloise. So I need Gus and Eloise to roll one more defense test.
Is this an insight power?
No, it's your projectiles are flying at you. It is due to telekinesis, but it's too late for that. It's too late for you to ward against it.
Yeah. No, he's already got a hold of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I got you. You sassy.
Okay, both of you are up
Then-
against a 16.
Touched.
I might have a question for you.
Okay.
Can I activate my talisman right now?
Yeah, what does it have?
It's got Hulk, baby.
Yeah, pop that Hulk.
Yeah. Gus like sees stuff coming at him and grabs his triptych symbol, and the light that's been sort of swirling within it shoots into his hand and up his arm and like through and around his body, and like the familiar signs of Gus with Hulk appear.
Hell yeah.
And now I can match the 16.
Okay, you match the 16. What about you, Eloise?
I rolled so many 13s, and it doesn't matter.
Okay, I mean the 13 helps. Again, both of you are looking at 4 damage, all of which is armor piercing. Go ahead.
I mean, I've got 4 toughness, right? So it's
Yeah,
just,
so you're
cool.
you're soaking it. You're soaking it. You're good.
Cool.
So the door shatters as like Vance gets it slightly open, smoke billows out, and then the door shatters at the force of large flaming bookshelves flying out and breaking against the walls of this stone hallway, kind of launching out aimlessly, but in your relative direction. You all dive out of the way. A couple of you get hit a little bit. No one catches on fire, Gus like glows with energy, and like you like put up your arm in like one of like a big like shelf part of one of these bookshelves, like just like breaks across your like forearm and like shatters down, sparks and embers, the smoke kind of swirling in the wake of this debris. You are now in a hallway. The hallway is large enough and like has enough like airflow moving through it that like the smoke is not oppressive. It is there, it stings, it is present, but it is not necessarily, at least at this point, causing you any particular negatives. However, you are surrounded by the heat and burning, the heat and like sparks of these burning pieces of wood around you that have kind of littered the area. Some piles of debris a little bit larger than others, and in this midst, as these like shelves and flame like fly out at you, you do see one dart fly out with a precise shot, hit Vance in the collarbone, and inject him with something. And as you all kind of are getting up from the debris, you see Vance kind of stepping back, pulling out the syringe that he's been shot with, one of Leo Riggs's darts, and he like goes a little woozy and he drops down. Porter, as a medical professional, you can tell that he has been knocked unconscious. He is not, if he is dying, it is a slow death. He is not just instant dead.
Do I have the opportunity to treat him?
At this particular juncture, I mean, maybe. So basically, you get up, the smoke is spilling around. You see him drop down. You see that he is breathing in unconscious. He has been affected by some toxin. And as you kind of grab your kit and get ready to go, you do see movement in the smoke ahead of you.
Shocking.
As
quickly as possible, I just want to basically form a hypodermic needle that shoots up into my hand, and I'm going to inject him with an antitoxin.
Okay, cool.
And hopefully don't get stabbed immediately.
So you can inject him with an antitoxin. That it's just it's not a stacked. Well, I guess what is the level of this antitoxin?
Excellent quality tier 2 antitoxin.
Okay. Okay, so it takes out 2 properties. Neat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So with that antitoxin injected into him, Vance begins to come to as you are able to negate both the extra potent and the sleep properties that are within this tonic.
All right, lad, you're all right. Come on, you're still with us.
You hear Leo Riggs's voice coming from the smoke as it kind of parts, and you see him stepping out. And he looks down a little disappointed at Vance coming to, and he says, "Oh, Porter, I was hoping to have a little tete-a-tete with the 4 of you. Vance, you're not welcome here. Go on, get back. Let me have a conversation with my friends here." And Vance kind of sits up and says is like, "Leo Riggs, I presume?" And he goes, "We don't have time for this. Listen, you 4. These people are hiding the real threat from you. We don't need to be enemies. You're what? You're here to stop me? You came all this way just to stop me from learning what these people want to keep secret? I'll tell you what, it ain't much, is it, Vance? Hiding away your secrets even from yourselves? Is that what I saw in there?" And Vance kind of stays quiet, doesn't respond. And Owen turns to the 4 of you and says, Leo turns to the 4 of you and says, "Oh
Yeah,
no."
right.
I did that in season 1 too. At one point I randomly called somebody Rufus, and everyone was like, and I was like, no. Leo turns to the 4 of you and says, "You 4 are persistent. Impressive, in fact." You can see as he moves, he has that kind of glow behind his eyes that makes it so even his glasses don't fully block it. You also notice as he moves, there's an almost slight after image of him in that kind of deep green color that seems to be related to his tell. It's not like a full after image, but there's just a slight ripple of green energy coming off of him as he moves. He doesn't make any immediate moves towards you. He doesn't make any threatening moves. He genuinely stands there as the smoke kind of swirls around him and the fires crackle in the hall and behind him in the archives. And he says, "What is it you 4 want? You ain't here to help me, I know that. The moment you 2 turned tail and left me in the Punched Peaks," he says to Porter and Dex. "Neat trick."
Oh, it just didn't seem like the place for us to be, I suppose. We obviously don't want to fight you, Leo, but we can't trust that you're not going to use what you found against people.
Use what I found against people? Right now, I'm not the real threat. Owen Lemaire's the real threat. He's on his way to unearthing a weapon that the Legionnaires are so scared to touch, they didn't even try to destroy it. Instead, they locked it away in some tomb with Owen's dead daddy. They tried to wipe the history of what happened. I looked in there. Basically, just something happened. We intentionally made sure that we don't leave it for anyone else to know about. Sound about right, Vance? And Vance goes, it's more complicated than that. And he goes, right. There's always a reason. Hell, they still don't even know for sure if Owen's actually out there. But the five of us know. We definitely know. We saw it with our own eyes. Now, I'm the only one strong enough to take him out because his hubris let him think it was a good idea to juice me up and let me run rampant. With our strength and the strength of the FPC, we can take down Owen before he has a chance to destroy everything. If half the ghost stories I've heard about this man are true, we cannot let him run his plan on the world. So we don't need to be enemies. We can go back to being friends.
I don't trust Leo Riggs for obvious reasons, but I would like to know if he's telling the truth about what he found about Owen Lemaire.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and you can roll manipulate. You are up against a 12, actually.
All right.
Excellent.
All right. I've got one hit over 12.
Okay. You can tell that there's more going on than Leo is letting you like fully see. And you can tell that Leo is definitely, you still get that inkling of like distrust about him. But you at least are pretty sure that like he's definitely telling the truth about the fact that like that whatever history he did just like consume there in the archives was disappointing to him and not what he was looking for. like whatever was in there, like they didn't, there's like not like he seems to think that the Legionnaires did try to hide like sweep Owen Lemaire under the rug.
Come on, Leo. You really expect us to believe you're not in league with him? He gives you the kind of powers that we saw him give, and you're not going to do anything for him? How do I know he's a common enemy?
Well, the way I see it, what I kind of figured was going on there is he got so desperate to find his way to his daddy's resting place that he was willing to make me a problem he could solve down the way once he gets his hand on that weapon. I think it's a good old-fashioned case of people underestimating me. They do that a lot. Tends to get them all gummed up.
So I've heard.
Look, you're here for what? To kill me? Or are you here for that data that can clear out your bounties and let you go home and live a nice, sweet life? Because I got the data.
Hand it over.
He reaches behind and produces basically a data cartridge and like holds it up and he goes, "This here's all of Brimstone's dirty secrets, at least what Owen was up to. I figure that you can use this to clear your names. Not that it will do you much good. Owen's gonna scorch the earth before you have a chance to live your lives." And he tosses the data over to Dex.
I catch it and I just immediately hand it to Eloise.
I put it in my secret pocket.
Oh.
So what do you say? Allies once more?
Tommy, can you remind me of something that I remember us talking about weeks ago?
Okay.
Didn't we hear that like a bunch of super illuminated people like burned down a town?
Leo Riggs took the FPC to burn down the Valentine estate,
Yeah.
and presumably the Raven died there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the Valentines were like a very wealthy and influential Fort Dearborn family who was funding a bunch of anti-illuminated like coalitions and movements.
Okay.
I don't think you and I can be allies.
Oh, you wound me, Dex.
I don't shine like you.
True. You don't. So how about you go ahead and take that little data pad and clear your name, and you can do the good deeds of your people in the Badlands once more. Or go back and smoke whatever it is y'all smoke up there on the Silent Peak and enjoy your life of solitude, and we'll clean up the mess.
You don't seem to understand what I do.
All right, then. That's a no from the gunslinger. Surprise there.
You tell me. What do you do after you beat Owen Lemaire?
We fix this place. We'll make it so people like him, people like the Fort Dearborn militia, stop walking around with their boots on our throats, acting like we don't deserve a say in what happens. He says, pointing down to Vance.
What about the rest of the people? You're in charge now. They're your responsibility.
You want me to lay out the whole plan right here for you? Or
Yeah,
you buy,
I fucking do, Leo.
you buying time? How many more gunslingers you got on the way here? Is that the play here?
The play is, I don't think you have a plan that is not you are in charge. Because you don't care about illuminated people. You care about you and power and having it and using it to do whatever you want.
What about you, Eloise, Gus, Porter? Dex is immovable in the face of evil.
I've been manipulated by too many terrible kinds of people to allow it to happen again. I was on the fence about you, Leo, and I really wanted you to be a good thing. But I seen you in action, and I can't go down that path. I'm with Dex.
I think Gus tries to catch Eloise's eye. It gives her a look like, I want to trust people, but I don't know if I can trust this guy. He gives her a look like, what do you think?
I don't think Eloise looks at Gus at this moment. I don't think she looks away from Leo Riggs. So I think Gus is left to make his own decision.
Leo is looking directly at Gus and Eloise, eyebrows raised. We can stop them together. Of that I know.
Leo, I don't know what to say. I want to look for the best in people. I want to look for the balance in them. But I can't see balance in you.
His reaction unreadable as he slides his slightly shining green eyes to look at Eloise.
You can't ever walk away again. You can't ever leave again.
That stuck with you, huh?
You left me to die, Leo.
Yet here you are.
You could have saved me.
You didn't need my saving.
It would have made it a lot easier.
Way I see it, Eloise, your fatal flaw is always underestimating yourself. You walk amongst people, a god. One of the most gifted illuminated folk I've ever met. They're right to fear you. You'll learn that.
So will you fear me, Leo?
I revere you.
Will you turn away? Will you find me too powerful one day and then turn on me like you're doing to your temporary ally from before?
You mean Lemaire?
Can you work with people or just over them?
Lemaire and I struck a transaction. We ain't allies. That was
What's
clear.
this?
Us fighting the good fight. As it always has been. He reaches out a hand to, like, have you come over to him. And at this point, I do need to know if Eloise is being deceitful.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's roll that manipulate test.
I would like to spend 8 to bamboozle.
You're gonna bamboozle me 8 times? You're putting,
Hell
you're
yeah.
putting yourself down to 2 grit?
I can die twice.
I'd also like to use my last motivational speaker to help.
I have 20 grit now.
Fuck off.
That's too many grit. Y'all spend some channel points to take away Tommy's grit. Look for a button in there. It's got to be in there.
That's a good one.
Cool. I have no successes.
Well, take a +3.
Really?
Oh yeah, take a +3 as Porter says, "El, what are you doing?"
Selling the bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Porter's voice trembles a little bit, like heartbroken, like he's like
How could you even consider that?
he's so hurt by this betrayal.
That's 3 successes.
Okay. Yeah, he has his hand extended out to you.
I'm gonna die. Eloise like shakes her head and steps forward and takes his hand.
Okay.
And I cast Puppeteer.
Yes.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Sick. This is so sick.
And so works the grit economy. I'm bamboozling you 6 times.
That's okay. That's okay. This is not my thing. Okay.
You only have 2 grit to work with on this.
I know. That's okay though. Okay. So puppeteer is 7. 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay. Sparkles for the win. I hope. Okay, sparkles.
Okay. You are up against a 14.
There's
The target for mentalist isn't 20.
my target for mentalist. If I had not done a -8 and did a -7, so I could go it strong, I would be able to succeed.
Oh my
can't
god!
Even at a
somebody
-6?
give Eloise some
I
I
grit.
think they've already given me all the grid I can take.
Also,
They've already
you're-
given me
That's
grid.
a bamboozle.
It's a
You can't
bamboozle on a
go
-6.
strong
It's a
with
bamboozle, so I
Yeah,
can't do it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So unfortunately, God, what if he has the that would be hilarious.
Reflexive shine.
Reflective word. I don't think so. That's not his thing. Yeah, it hasn't been. Who knows?
It would be
He's
wild
super-
for Leo to fight this whole fight holding hands with you.
Yeah,
Even
but
though
I honestly
that's
think it
gonna
would
fight
hinder
this whole
him
fight
pretty
holding hands.
significantly.
okay. Well, that's no, there's no way I can do it.
Cool.
What was their bamboozle?
I bamboozled you 6 times. You have 8 grit
6.
now.
Great. So that's 4. That's 3 hits, but they're all low, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
So he reaches out a hand and you walk in and he goes, just you and me then. And then you take his hand.
Yeah, and I say, let me see the truth, as if I'm going to read his thoughts,
Mhm.
but then I try to puppeteer him.
Yeah, your eyes glow gold. And in that moment, his eyes that are always kind of glowing a little green
Yeah.
shine a little bit brighter. And you reach out trying to weasel control over Leo Riggs, and you buff it up against a absolute like even more of a fortress than Dex's mind. Like it's less of a fortress and more like there's too much energy coming at you. It pushes you
Right.
back. It doesn't stop you. It shoves you away. And you like there's a like energy like that bursts between your two hands, and your hands actually like pull away from each other from the blast of it. He like holds up his hand and there's like kind of this like swirl of gold and green right there where your hands were that dissipates. And he goes, that's a damn shame. All with the gunslinger then. And Dex, you see not Leo's body move, but that after image begin moving down to go get his gun, and he's going to challenge you.
Yeah, I respond to him and I
Mhm.
say, you already know it, Leo. This is the end for one of us.
All right.
Cold. What a cold line. Chilly. Did it just get brisk in here? Whew.
There's literal fire. You are up against an 11 on this challenge.
All right. Well, I'm legally obligated to play to the gallery. So I have a 15. Let's see if I can hit better than it. No, I have a 15.
Okay. So you have a single 15. So you win by 1 success. So you don't get any bonuses going into the quick draw, but you do succeed. So it does mean he gets a chance to concede. So you say this ends with one of us dead, and his hand, like that after image down nearby the ground or nearby his dart gun is met by his actual hand, as if his thoughts almost betrayed that he was going to like put his hand there before his body did it. And he just grins and he goes, Well, it's nice knowing you. And he's gonna draw, and we're gonna go into a quick draw.
Great. This is a poor tactical decision, but just based on knowing how the game works. I bamboozle you 8 times.
Oh my god!
Oh,
We all want to kill Leo Riggs so bad. We wanted to do this for 1.5 seasons.
I want to live to phase 2.
I wanted to get him to sit still so I could read his mind a couple of times.
Okay, so I
wanna
have
punch him
fastest gun of
pretty
the
bad.
Badlands, so I had to double check what that does. It's +2 skill and +1 reliability. So do you roll this quick draw?
You bamboozled me 8 times.
I did bamboozle you 8 times.
Okay.
Wow, there's been so many bamboozles and no counter boozles.
I'm waiting for the counter boozle.
I did a counter boozle. I did a.
No, you did a regular boozle.
Sure. But it was in response. I'm
Reaction
feeding.
areas.
Look at me, my 23 grit. +1 grit to Dex for Boo. From Boo saying, I will not stand for 0 grit.
I can't believe there's no counter boozle on this.
You are up against a 9.
Oh,
I got a 13, a 14, and a 15.
13, 14, 15. All right, so for anyone who doesn't know, quick draw damage is calculated differently than normal damage. Typically, when you're calculating damage in Manifest the RPG, you are limited in counting your number of net successes by your weapon's accuracy. A lot of weapons can have like anywhere from like 2 to 4 accuracy, so you can only count that many successes. And then what you do is however many net successes you have over your opponent, you multiply that by your weapon's power. So if you get 3 net successes and your power is 5, you're dealing 15 damage. Now, in quick draw, it's different. For one thing, there's no limit to the amount of successes you're allowed to count. You can count as many as you roll. And also, your damage is not just your power, it's your power plus your accuracy. Dan, would you like to tell me what your power plus your accuracy is, as you also get +1 grit from Carnaxus saying Bua is right?
Awesome, thank you. Well, 8 plus 3 is 11.
Okay, so every net success you roll is 11 damage, and you got 3 net successes?
Yeah, that's 33 damage.
Okay.
What sucks is that Tommy's over here basically taking a death blow with a smile. Like, man, I've got so much grit I'm about to have, and that's concerning.
The thing is that I have lived in so many MMOs that I know. Honestly, if you can just ignore phase 1, you just DPS through it.
Yeah, but look,
Yeah,
dog.
well, honestly,
People don't have
33
phase 1 in Manifest.
33 is a pretty good, not a great quick draw.
33 wouldn't even kill what's his face from the podcast. 33 wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
bad
that's
shot.
okay.
It's an extremely powerful shot, but it's not we're level 18 characters. 33 does not kill bosses in level 18 characters campaigns.
Now,
Yeah, it's just like, dang, this guy is Sephiroth.
Now, Dan, I must ask you this.
Mhm.
Do you want to use the 2 grit that you've got, go back to 0, and twist the knife to make that 44 damage?
Am I allowed to? We're still in the.
This is grit you got from the fucking.
Oh, yeah,
this is people
is-
grit. This is the
is people
people's grit. Give them the people's grit.
People's great.
Yeah, listen, the people have spoken, and I will be the people's champion. I will spend the 2 grit, and I'll twist the knife. I'll do 44 damage.
Okay. You don't have to do that, but I will say,
I mean-
in order to achieve what you are attempting to achieve, that'll do it.
I mean, you shut your mouth. Of course, I have to do it.
Okay.
Let's remove the mask from Leo Riggs.
So,
Wait, he already did.
Riggs looks at Dex and says, "Oh, it was nice knowing you." And as he reaches for his gun, his hand to anyone watching, it's like his hand goes from being next to his gun to having his gun out and pointed at Dex. It's not even like when you watch a gunslinger draw so quickly, it's like a blur and then their hand is moved. It's as if like he like straight up teleported to a second, like as if you cut a bunch of frames and all of a sudden his hand is out. Like his body just like teleported into that moment. And as that happens, Dex is still quicker.
I think what happens is he says, "It was nice knowing you," and just all of the sound in this room drops out for Dex. And where everyone else sees Leo Riggs's hand is here and then here, Dex sees that after image move.
Yeah.
And just very slightly moves to the right and draws.
Yeah. And the dart launches out right at like right towards like where your eye socket would have been if you hadn't just moved slightly, and it flies by, and before it even fully gets to flying by you, you already have your gun out, and you all see that swirl of like red hot luminescent energy go up along the twisting engravings of this Galrao on the barrel of this gun, all the way to the mouth right at the end of the barrel, and the flame of the gun burst launches out, kind of swirling, cutting the air out of the way, putting out a couple of the lesser fires around Dex. And that shot rips through Leo Riggs's chest, blowing it open, revealing on the other side like the swirl and smoke of the like fires. And Riggs sits there for a second, kind of like trying to like get any air in his lungs to be able to say some final words. And then all that happens is a loud, ear-splitting screech as green energy begins crackling around that wound and in a flash becomes his entire body. And you watch as Leo launches up in the air by some unseen force as this loud energy buffets your ears, making your eyes hurt like more than the smoke. This like, and you watch as his body launches up, and that green after image bursts out from what is looking like a fractured and like desiccated corpse, and you see wings like raven in shape burst out of his back in this kind of green glow, and he drops down, first the after image and then his body, and then they become one. And you watch as his skin becomes dark and crackled, similar to what you recall seeing in the Malachite Mountains. His eyes now holes of green energy, those glasses broken and shattered on the ground. And what was Leo Riggs now stands before you, a true terrifying creature, his limbs elongated against the flesh. What he is wearing, what this entity is wearing, is the remains of Leo's body, stretched and broken across, and then covered in dark, glowing green like shards of energy that kind of form around his body. And until there's no more of Leo Riggs's body left, and just these pieces of what was his body attached to this kind of ethereal form. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
All right, everybody, don't forget your pluses. That is a +1 on your initiative test, and you have a reliability on this, and it's the first round of combat, so you get +2 to your initiative score as well.
Amazing. Should I go ahead and cast Sixth Sense now?
Yeah, for the sake of it being easier, so we don't have to like have you have a turn and then boost your initiative up even more.
Okay, so I need paper. It's +2, did you say, Seth?
+2 to the score, yes.
Score, cool.
Well, and I am gonna play to the gallery so I can count. That's 12.
Do I
Same Z's. I think this is the best initiative roll I've rolled since Juliet. Went.
Nice.
I will go ahead and twist the knife. I'll twist the knife 3 times. So all of you can have 3 grit.
Dang it. Can I quickly twist the knife?
As part of wanting to get some of this grit. Yeah, go ahead. Let me just go ahead and roll for Vance really quick.
Oh, fuck. He's still there.
He is, in fact, here.
I did wake him up, yeah. I figured we need as many people as possible in this fight, even if he's not a gunslinger.
Okay. Did anyone get better than a 13?
Yes.
All right. What did you get, Gus?
In total, Gus has a 15.
That's insane.
I rolled.
Oh, man.
I rolled 1 on my target. And rolled that into a success, and then had the +2 to initiative score, and twisted the knife, and got to +2 initiative score from 6 cents.
Woo!
I'm fast.
I can't wait for these double
Oh,
downs.
that's hilarious. I also I forgot that part of Sixth Sense is that you get the 2 to initiative.
Mhm.
So I had it all written out like how his Sixth Sense affected his defense pool, but I forgot about the initiative part. So we both have 15s actually.
Oh well, okay.
But what's your awareness stat?
Oh well, okay.
Oh fuck! I didn't mean to steal that one out from underneath you.
Oh well, okay.
I just forgot that Sixth Sense, when you roll that many successes on Sixth Sense, it also affects your static, or like your initiative score, not just your defense tests.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gus has a 15. Dex.
I have an 11.
Porter.
Porter's got a 7.
Eloise.
A 9.
Ooh.
Right.
And Vance has a 5.
Go Vance. I know that laugh.
Okay. So, the Raven goes first.
That is maddening. This is as well as I could roll.
The Raven goes first, and the first thing that's going to happen is there's going to be a burst of green energy, and one of you is not affected by this. Who's it going to be? I have to roll. It's Gus.
Okay, cool. I was going to say if you wanted to do it by like distance, the rest of them are actually pretty close.
So Dex, Porter, and Gus, I need you to roll. To resist an insight power that is being used against you.
Wait, did you say Gus is not affected?
Sorry, and
Yeah.
Eloise.
Also, gotta take my sweatshirt's coming off. It's fight time, baby. Sweats, the warm-ups, they're off. Let's go.
I need you to take a -1 to this.
Yes.
So this is a discipline, is that right?
Yes. Yeah. It is either discipline or warding. Those are the 2 skills you can roll to resist eliminated.
Oh.
You are up against a 12.
I
Fuck me.
rolled the best number I'm allowed to count.
So I have the warding talent.
Uh-huh. Which is
which is reflective ward.
So if you succeed, you bounce it back.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Um,
So you know.
yeah. So
Can I do that and also ward for other people?
you can eat your initiative in order to ward for other people if you want.
I have a 14.
Dex has a 14. Eloise, you have
I have a 13.
okay
Or-
13.
yeah.
Okay. Porter.
I misfired and had a 4. So it's technically a grave misfire,
Why
right?
did you say that I couldn't ward for you?
Well, because you need your initiative. I'm.
You
spending
need your
3
legs, bud.
I don't need them that badly. I am going to downgrade this so it's just a regular misfire at the very least.
Okay. Here, this is the misfire. Since it's a regular misfire, not a grave misfire. Eloise, you can't ward for him.
Yeah, that's right. You couldn't do it anyway.
God.
Not a poor choice I made it out.
It hits him. It hits this luminescent energy hits him first before it gets to you. So by the time you're done like resisting it yourself, Porter is already under its effects. So you got no successes then, is what I'm hearing.
That's right.
Or wait, what was your highest? No, or was it none?
It was a 4.
It was a 4. Okay. That does take away the 1 I rolled.
Lovely.
However, you are inflicted with a massive amount of pain, which will mean you are at a -4 to all tests.
Sure.
You immediately fall prone, and you will not be able to move next turn.
Lovely.
Luckily, it wasn't a grave misfire, so you don't fall in the fire.
At least I'm not on fire. You know, that's the best thing I can say for Porter most times.
I
is that
feel
he's
like
not on
that's
fire.
like the little strap line. It's like Porter. Glad I'm not on fire.
It's his. At least I have my health. Is he often does not have his health.
Yeah, right. Can't say that honestly. Goodness gracious.
Okay, but I got a 12 and a oh no. I have to twist the knife on this to reflect, correct?
Any of your net successes count as you offensively casting
Right,
the
but
power.
I have to get 2. And I only got 1. I just rolled a 113.
Oh, so
So-
every success after the first bounces back?
So it all bounces back if you get 2 or more hits.
Yeah, okay. Got
so
it.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
spend 2 to twist the knife.
You're gonna twist the knife so that so you said you got like a 13, right? You do
Yeah.
succeed. Okay. Yeah. So if you're gonna twist, if you want to bounce this back, you can twist the knife. Otherwise,
I twist the knife.
okay, cool. Also, I think maybe my mic cut out my big loud screech because it
It
was.
did not.
It sure
I
did.
heard.
Not
No,
up here.
I'm saying
Did
for the.
OBS say no? No,
I think OBS said no, thank you. I know
Well-
Discord gets the whole force of it, but I think maybe I went silent on
I was
OBS.
gonna apologize to headphone users, but then I realized that's us.
It's the whole point of it. It was supposed to be an ear-splitting screech.
It
It's
was.
ears.
It was.
Also, Eloise casts deflect pain.
Yeah, right.
Reroute pain, more like. As this burst of energy comes out, Dex, you feel that thing you've trained for, like someone attempting to attack like your very essence. And it's not like it's not like oh, they're just trying to tap into my mind with like, telepathy or anything like that. It's like you feel that it is trying to like access your like effectively like your soul, and you are able to just like, you are stalwart against it. It hits you, you feel like just a slight burning at like the ends of your like nerves, and then you stamp it out and just like mind over matter, just like it goes away. Eloise, you put up a golden light like in front of yourself, and that green energy washes around you.
It is important to me that we at least do not affect each other.
And then as that happens, the ripple kind of like bounces back, turning from green to gold as it moves back towards the Raven, and you got 2 successes basically. So he is affected by inflict pain. At
Yeah,
2.
short-lived effect. He is at a -2.
Yeah, so you hit him with that, and you like see as like that golden energy kind of like latches on to certain parts of this like kind of spectral being, and like he like shakes and like starts like stuttering. And Porter, the green energy washes over you, and your body is on fire. Not literally, but but from the inside out, you feel as if there's like fire ants like running up and down your veins. It's just pure pain, and you drop down, and like you don't know what to do about it. This is beyond medicinal help. as you sit there, just completely like.
I do feel like he's convulsing. He's definitely convulsing a little bit, and he's making like sounds that you've never heard from him before. It doesn't even sound like him. That's the kind of pain that he's in.
I feel like I heard these sounds when you were coming off the experimental combat drugs in Waypoint.
You know, similar but different. Yeah.
Well, there's one medical thing you can do. Do you have an antitoxin?
I've got an antitoxin.
Okay.
No.
Moving on. I'm gonna take a grid away from Gus.
An 8 for the joke, but a 4 for execution. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's fair.
So that energy bounces back a little bit at the creature, and it seems to take note of where that came from. And it is going to its hands move down, kind of like separating and segmenting along this ethereal kind of formless body that is basically comprised of the components that it is holding on to from Leo Riggs's corpse. And you watch as like the gun that was in Leo Riggs's hand when he dies like gets like kind of calcified into the like hand of this thing. And then Leo Riggs's like shield, which is kind of built into like a wristband around his other arm, like kind of activates and breaks out, and in an almost perverse like mirror of how you saw Leo Riggs fight in life, this thing begins to move in that way, using the knowledge and skills that Leo Riggs has to pull back that shield and launch it out at two of you. And that is going to be Dex and Eloise.
This guy's like the paladin I played in WoW.
He's got to take a -1.
Oh, is he? I guess throwing the shield. Yeah. The rest of the stuff, I was like, I played with that paladin. I don't remember there being this much body horror.
Does resisting an insight power count as a defense test for the multiple defense?
It does not. No.
Okay.
Okay. Currently, you are up against an 11.
I will spend my grit. Spend 2 grit to count the 17.
I have a 13. And I just meant ability-wise, throwing shields, doing psychic stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
The shield launches out first at Dex, and Dex, you duck underneath it, and it flies overhead, flies towards Eloise, kind of curving as the recall cable begins pulling it back. And Eloise, you kind of catch it against your own shield, throwing it over your body. And as it sweeps around underneath that arm, the other arm raises up and fires 3 shots: 1 at Eloise, 1 at Dex, and 1 at Gus.
I'll stop saying it after this, but for the purposes of the viewers at home, please remember any attack that includes me
You count
I
as
count
having.
as having leg cover.
Yes. You will. Just so you know, you don't against this one. There's a laser sight on this gun, so when the gun shoots at you, you don't have light cover.
Okay. Well, you tell me this formless raven monster is using the laser sight.
It has become one with the dart.
It doesn't move it up to the eye. The eye moves down to the sight.
It sees everything from every
That
angle.
smacks of a certain Fomorian.
Don't you dare bring him into this.
Okay.
Man, this is such a good roll for almost anything except dodging. I have a 13.
Oh, I have a 13 also. You all are up against a 13.
I have a 10.
Okay.
I rolled
Eloise?
3 successes, 5 or lower.
Oh no.
Four.
I'm going to play to the gallery to count as 14.
Man, I rolled 2 12s and 2 13s. This is such a good shoot somebody roll.
Can I borrow one?
You said you got 14s, El?
Yeah, by spending 2 grit.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So Dex and Gus both get hit. So this shield washes out. You guys, Dex and Eloise like move to defend themselves against it, and then the other arm swings with like unearthly speed and fires 3 shots out, and they fly out at Dex, Eloise, and Gus. Eloise, you already have your shield up. You just duck behind it, and it hits against your shield. A bright flash of white phosphorus light against your shield. And Dex, it blows right in front of your face. And you are at you had a 13, so I only got 1, so you're at a -2.
Okay.
And Gus, it also like instead of like hitting you, like you kind of duck down and it looks like it's gonna hit you in the chest, and instead, right where you're looking, it just like bursts with this bright flash, and you are gonna be at a -4 to your tests. Any test that would require your eyes, which is, so like using an illuminated power won't actually be affected by this, for instance, right? But punching people will.
I use my gut. I use my heart, like Rocky.
And so that will persist until the end of when it comes back around to the Ravens initiative again. And that's going to be its first turn. And now I'm going to double down.
Yeah.
All of you get a grit. Except for Gus. None for Gretchen Wiener. And the shield, before it even really fully reconnects, the body spins around, ducking down, those wings kind of flaring out, and the shield skirts across the ground, kicking up sparks as it flies out again, lashing out on this like whirring recall cable as it flies out, and it's going to go for I think Dex and Eloise again.
I have a 12.
Okay.
It's the highest number I can count.
I have a 15.
I have a 9.
Oh, wait. So Dex, you do have cover against the shield.
Yeah, no, I took that into account. The 12 remains the highest I can count.
Yeah. But I do need to actually spend grit to count this 15.
Sorry, let me rephrase. Yeah, get fucked.
So this is grit that only goes towards Dex because it's specifically. It actually it actually is. Dex and Eloise both get a grit for this because this lets me count a 15 against both of you. What did you get, El?
9.
Okay. So, Dex, you take 6 damage, 4 of which is armor piercing.
I will take an injury.
Okay. And Eloise, you take 12 damage, 4 of which is armor piercing.
I also am gonna take an injury.
Okay. Go ahead and roll up your injuries.
I am overwhelmed, which is -2 to my next test.
Okay. And Eloise?
I am. Oh, I'm shaking.
Which one's that?
My threshold for misfires is reduced by 1.
Oh, lordy.
Which
Don't you have toughness?
You do know that the only healing tonics I have also have bad luck, right? Are you?
Yeah. Hold on. Wait. I do have toughness. I have 3 toughness, so that brings it down to overwhelmed. A -2 to my next test.
Nice.
A much better injury.
A much better injury.
Okay.
Also, I am not taking a healing tonic. I'd rather die.
So Eloise, Dex, you have this big spot in your vision where that thing went off, but you hear the shield skirt against the ground, and less than seeing it and more like just having the battlefield awareness, you turn and try to prevent yourself from being full hit by it, and it does hit you along the shoulder, spinning you out. What was your overwhelmed, spinning you out, and now you are a little spun around, discombobulated. You have this spot in your vision. There's this big, horrifying, lanky, arched over, avian, body horror monster in front of you, and this is where I get to reveal that both of you are shoved into the flaming debris nearby you, and both of you catch on fire. You do not take any additional damage now, but you will take damage as you are on fire. If either of you has fire resistant armor, that helps a great deal in this particular instance.
No.
Okay. So you don't take any additional damage now, but you are on fire, which means you will take damage on your turns unless you spend time putting it out. Okay. And then it is, so the shield flies out, and then pop, 3 more shots coming out of that dart gun at Eloise, Gus, and Porter.
Come on.
You bounced pain back at it.
Can I
You
even
remember
I can't
that?
even dodge this, right?
You are at a -4.
Just
but
as a
you
-4.
But you can defend against this. It has some bonuses to attack you, but
All right.
okay. Y'all are up against a 12. If it wasn't inflicted with its own pain, it could have a higher number.
Dang, it's a shot. I can't counterpunch it. I could counterpunch it so good. But no, I've just beaten it.
Okay.
Wait, I gotta reroll? Yes.
So Gus is good. What about L? And Gus, you remember you're at a -4, right? Because you were slightly blinded?
Yeah, but I was rolling at +6 on defense tests.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Listen.
Oh my god, I forgot I had 6th sense going.
Oh my god.
Addie. You gotta take better care of yourself, Eloise.
Well, I have to count.
Gotta go on mute. Gotta do some math.
14 -4 is 10 plus plus 3 equals 13. I can count this 12. Nope, but I'm at a -2, so it's 10. I can't count this. I have a 10.
You have a 10.
It explodes
Okay.
into another 10. It's that's a 1. Okay.
What a ride.
Okay, so
Okay.
Gus beats a 12. Eloise, you have a 10. And what about you, Porter?
Listen, I really don't want to be hit by this dart, so I'm gonna spend 5 grit to both go it strong and play to the gallery, and then at least I have a 12, so I don't get totally fucked.
Holy crap.
Oh my god.
Okay. Eloise, you take it's just 6 damage, all of which is piercing.
Is that? But that's affected by my toughness, right?
Yep.
I can do that. That's
Porter, I feel like your toughness is going to come into play big time here. You take 3 damage, all of which is piercing.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, you take no damage.
That's no damage.
That's no damage. Porter, writhing on the ground, turns his back, and the dart, the like pinpoint
An
dart,
item I crafted proved necessary.
this pinpoint dart shatters against the like armor, like shoulder plate of your
Carter
jacket.
doesn't dodge. He gets hit square in the back where the armor is the toughest.
Dr. Wesley'd it.
He definitely, as he's writhing on the ground, he sees the dart coming and he throws his back to it, feels it kind of shatter against the armor, and he goes, "Aha!"
Okay. So, and then Gus, one of the shot flies out at you, but you, even though you're slightly blinded, you have like a lot of your vision is blurred. You can kind of see through the blur the kind of shape of this thing, and you see it kind of move. You watched Leo fight a little bit. You know what's going on.
Yeah. I think Gus is used to reacting to things on like a short range, so he sees it coming like the length of a punch that might be thrown, and is still able to dodge just with that short amount of reaction time.
Yeah, you're like boxing training, and you're like pure like luminescence pouring through your body right now allows you to like do like the bob and weave underneath the shot, because you know something is coming at you, and it's just like you better keep moving. Like so you
Head
duck
movement.
down.
It's all important.
And it shatters against the stone behind you. And Eloise, the dart digs into your shoulder, kind of cracking your armor a little bit, piercing in, digging kind of deep. This like really narrow dart from this gun, and that is its turn. Gus, it is now your turn.
Interesting. Well, I don't remember Alana making no ruling on this thing, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and figure it out myself. He runs in there to get punching.
Okay. You run in at like almost towards the sound of the shield reattaching to the forearm. You rush in and you see the shape of this thing looming over you, the wings spreading out, the cracked like black green, like not really quite Leo's face, kind of looking down at you. And you get going. What do you do?
Boy, what a tough decision. I think I'm gonna punch it, actually.
Okay.
Sassy.
Oh, +1 grit to Porter from Carnaxis, because Argotlam didn't have enough to give it to you, so Carnaxis stepped up.
A little bit of grit brokering going on in the
A
chat.
true
I love it.
hero.
Thank you, Carney.
That's only 11s for me.
Yeah, I have a 17.
You count a
Alright.
17 at a -2 from being in pain inflicted?
I can.
That's nice for
Well,
you.
that's mean of you to do and say. both of which hurt my feelings. Let's go again.
Okay. Oh, actually, something does happen, but it won't affect this attack you're doing. I have a 15 against this attack.
I got a 13. I rolled 3 ones. These dice are done for the night.
Do you want new dice? I'll bring them to you.
I have so many dice, Addie.
Okay.
You know this just
I
as
know.
well as I do.
I know.
But I
just
appreciate you.
Okay, you let me know.
Gus, this is what happens. I know you have more going on, but you move in to fight, and the shield kind of swings up like from an angle you wouldn't expect the arm to be able to move from. It swings up, and you throw one punch and then pull to throw another punch, and instead of pulling your fist away, you pull yourself forward, and your other punch goes into the shield as well. And you are now grappled as a rating 2 grapple for the duration of the time that you want to keep using your fist weapons. They are both attached to this magnetized shield.
This sucks.
So you can let go of the fist weapons and leave them attached to the shield and go without them, or you could you've used both your quick actions this turn, so you're not going to be able to like break them out.
He gets a free punch.
You do get I know he has a free punch. I'm just saying, like, the fist weapons right now are incapacitated until you do something to try and break them free. And for the duration that you are holding on to them, you're at a -2. You're counted as grappled at a -2.
Sounds like we're wrestling. Gus ain't above no wrestling. Can I use my free unarmed attack to grapple?
No, because grapple is a focused action specifically.
Well, then I'm gonna punch it, and I don't even care.
You could try and remove the shield from the person.
Yeah,
that wouldn't count for his free attack. Is just an attack is what it comes down to, because he used his quick. I guess technically
I figured it would be like a called shot, right?
Technically, what? Oh, sure. Yeah, you could make a called shot to try and like kick the shield off the arm or something like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, you'll take a -2 to do that, so that makes it a -4 because of the grapple.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
You are up against 15.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and spend a couple grit and play to the gallery.
Okay.
I'll count both these 15s. Oh, the 14 wanted to come to play, but it doesn't. But it explodes, so... Nah. But yeah, that's 2 successes.
Okay, cool. So how much damage do you deal just with not with your weapon, but with just a basic unarmed attack?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have to spend 2 grit. I count those 15s because I'm in an offensive stance. I think I might have forgot to say that.
Got it.
So I'm still at 12. Go ahead and keep that 2 grit. I'll twist the knife.
Just making me just go back and edit these back and forth.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to make it easy for you and made it harder.
It's all good. So you got 3 successes.
Yep.
Which is
21 damage, 6 of which is piercing.
So your damage is weaker when you're not using your fist weapons. It's not half.
But I was using my fist weapons because I had a -2 to it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's right. You were continuing to use them, so like you pull it back. You pull back against the like you're like ting, and like you try to pull so that you can like get ready to punch, but instead you're just like ching ching, and like both of your fist weapons attach to this thing, and then you like put one leg up under one of your fists and you pull the punch back. This thing lifts you up off the ground with its like size as you pull back, and then you like almost like bear hug this shield as you kind of like try to do an uppercut to like break it off of like the like cracked like stony crystallized like body of this thing, and it does in fact break off and drop to the ground. It is still attached via the recall cable, but it drops to the ground, and I'll go ahead and say I'll let you like ungrapple yourself from it with that attack because you got 3 successes.
Amazing.
And how much damage?
It was 18. 6 cool. Which piercing. Or sorry, not 18, 21.
6 of which is piercing?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so the shield rests on the ground, still attached by the recall cable. You're able to get your fists kind of off of it as like the like magnetization kind of like falters for a second as it like is bursted off of its housing. And you're no longer grappled.
Amazing. Can I take my free punch first?
Are you saying you're double downing?
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm so excited to do it that I forget to say it.
All right, you are doubling down. So you get an extra turn.
Yep. And I'd like to punch first, please.
Yeah. You can use your. It's a free action to just do an attack, and then you still have your focused or 2 quick actions.
Yeah. I'm in a tactical a bit of a tactical mood this turn.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ignore penalties from called shots as I go to sever this recall cable.
Okay. Cool. I have 13s.
That's not enough.
Oh, I rolled a full house.
Ooh. we gotta break out that the dice throne. Let's see. Is that worth it? What you got?
I have a 13.
Yeah. No, I got 2 14s, and I'll twist the knife again if it'll make a difference. I'm trying to snap. I take my Hodak punchers and sort of like twist to try and get the line taut, and then chop them down on the wire in an attempt to snap it.
Sure, yeah. You move in, this thing pulls back, the recall cable starts whirring already, the shield's starting to slide along the ground, and you grab onto it, your arm like moving forward with the force of it, and you like pull, and you hear the engine kind of like whir, and then you just punch right through that cable. You said you got 3 successes?
I could. I'm not above twisting the knife if that makes a difference. I've got 2.
So if you twist the knife, you'll deal basically 1 net success worth of damage to the creature as well. But the 2 successes is just going to be enough to fully break the cable.
Yeah, in for a penny, in for a pound. I'll go ahead and spend 2 grit and hit this thing.
Sure, yeah, you punch not at like just the cable, like you hook the cable, it snaps and the cord like whips in and like cuts into the breaks some of that like that crystalline like body off of this thing, shattering it, and it, like you see when it hits the ground, it actually dissipates into nothing.
Amazing.
And so how much is 1 net success for you?
It's right now it is 6 damage, all piercing.
Okay.
I don't know its toughness, but at least it's all piercing.
Yeah. Cool. You're good.
Great.
So that's your free punch.
Yeah. Do I? Oh. Should I do something mean? Tommy, should I do something mean?
You do whatever you want.
All right. Hey, let me see that. Gus looks at the shield on the ground, and he looks up at the dart gun that just blinded him. It was like, oh, yeah. And he goes to try and knock that dart gun away as well.
Sure. So that's gonna be the -2 for the called shot. I'll go ahead and bamboozle you 2 times.
The called shot's free because I'm tactical.
Okay. So -2 because I'm bamboozling you 2 times.
Oh.
I have a 13.
I'm gonna go with strong. Which does not negate the bamboozle, of course.
Correct.
As is the nature of the boozle.
Mm-hmm.
But it does get rid of my -4, which allows me to count and explode the 16.
Okay.
Which is just one net success. But I'll twist the knife.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you fully like you break off that shield. The cord whips back, hits the thing. How much damage do you do with 2 successes?
12, 6 piercing.
Okay. You see what's going on. You rush forward through the haze of the blind. The gun pulls back. The scene's like as it like moves back away from you, and you like rush and like kind of grab onto the arm and give it a good punch, and like that crystalline form that kind of like was holding the gun in place cracks and breaks, and the gun scatters across the ground.
Amazing. And then I got one more quick action. Can I use that quick action to just sort of like kick these 2 away from it, like farther away, or at least one of them?
Oh, try to like get the weapons further away.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Quick action. You can knock both of them like down the hall on the other side of you and your friends.
Great.
Yeah, you just like it hits the ground, you kick it, and then you duck down as like the wing sweeps over your head, and like a hand reaches out to grab you, and you dive back, and as you turn like fists up, ready to keep fighting, you kick back behind you, and the shield tumbles past Eloise behind you or behind everyone to the down the hall.
All right, Leo. Now that's it. Time for manos a manos, which is something that Gus has extremely misunderstood.
Dex, it is your turn.
That's really funny. Okay, so I take 2 damage because I'm on fire.
Yes.
I would like to move out of the fire.
You do.
Honestly, I would love, if possible, to move to somewhere where it's hard to put me in fire.
You can achieve that. Yes.
Great.
He would need many net successes. First, he would need to be able to hit you with the shield, and then also have many net successes to move you enough to be able to put you in a fire as you kind of move into a better position.
It's a big, powerful boy. I don't think it's above picking someone up and putting them in fire. Exactly. You got it. Quick action to put myself out, or focused action?
I'm double checking that now. I'm pretty sure it's a focused action.
Okay.
Just double checking. The heck? Yeah, there it is. It is a focused action to put yourself out to end the effect.
Okay, I put myself out.
And it's worth noting the 2 damage you take goes to your armor. It's not piercing, but it does ignore your toughness. It's not direct to hit points. It does take 2 armor points away, though.
Okay, well, that means I don't feel obligated to use my resilience roll here. So I think that's just my turn as I put myself out, and I put myself in a hard position to set on fire.
Cool. Yeah, Dex, you step out, your cloak like burning with flames, kind of like sparking fire down. And as you kind of pull back, you actually whip your like cloak off for a second and like hit it against the ground. Honestly, you can just leave it on the ground.
I think it's just a combat roll out of the fire and the cloak. Tommy, you cannot tell me that these cloaks are not made to be easily put out when on fire.
Yeah, you kind of like roll over the flame on your cloak and put it out, and you step up, like smoke kind of like embering up behind you from your singed warden cloak.
Remember, kids, stop, drop, and combat roll.
That is Dex's turn. Eloise, it is your turn.
Okay.
You are on fire.
Right. I am on fire. Is anyone else on fire?
It's just just you
it's
now.
just me right now.
You
It
take
means
two.
I'm not-
You
I'm
take
on
2
fire.
damage that goes to your armor points first. It ignores toughness.
Okay.
Doing the math of how long you can be on fire.
Sort of.
Classic RPG move. How long can I be on fire for?
No. I had a real fun and cool idea. But maybe it's just dumb because I could just spend a focus action to be not on fire. I would like. I'm gonna quick fix. I'm gonna spend 2 machinery cubes, and I'm gonna quick fix Master Crafter fire resistant mod onto my tech armor.
Dope.
Amazing.
That's wild. This is the most tinkerer ass way to put yourself out.
This is Tony Stark shit right here.
This armor's on fire. It shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah,
This is
roll.
amazing.
So you have the machinery cubes. I assume you said you looked it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just 2 machinery cubes. It's not really even much.
Is that 1 because you have original design?
It is 1 because I have original design. Okay. Yeah.
You smother the fire with the machinery cube that, as it attaches to your armor, becomes fire resistant.
It will fall off at the end of the fight. Yeah, that's 5 successes.
Cool. Yeah. So, Eloise, you feel the flames kind of like moving up your clothing and like burning into your armor. Like a couple of like the nodes that emit like the kind of like nanotech that builds out your armor, like spark and like pop. And you really quickly like reach into your like satchel and pull out some materials, and as you pull them out with your Omni tool, like it immediately starts to reform and pull those in, and you watch as like your armor becomes slightly more robust and has this kind of like orangish glow to it as like the circuitry gets like really quickly like kind of wrapped in this like thermal resistant fiber that you put onto it as the fires basically effectively stop mattering. They actually go out. They go out because when you have fire resistance, you cannot be in the state of on fire. So like it like puts out the flame as your armor kind of like reconfigures and this like deep red glow kind of spreads around. And now you have fire resistance, which means you have additional toughness against any attacks that are fire-based damage. You also have the damage of incoming any attack that is fire-based. For the duration, you have it and then you subtract your bonus toughness from it basically, and you cannot be put on fire. So you can still take damage from a strong enough attack that is fire based, but you greatly reduce the damage.
Okay, now I have a question, because I don't think we actually thought about this when we were writing the rules, but so I have an Omni tool which takes quick fix from 4 initiative to 2 initiative, and then I have Master Crafter, which does reduce the time spent by half. So is that just 1 initiative that it costs?
No, what it is it's a quick action instead of a focused action for you to craft.
Oh, okay. I didn't think I was gonna have another thing that I could do.
Yeah,
no.
because it's 2 different things, but basically quick fix is you spend a focus action to make a thing. This costs 4 initiative, and then you have the Omni tool, which makes it so it's 2 because that's within the rules of quick fix. But Master Crafter means you reduce the time it takes for you to do things, so the time it takes is a focused action, which becomes a quick action.
Right.
So with your right hand, you craft fire.
You absorb the necessary materials into your armor to make it fire resistant on the fly. Let this be a lesson to any tinkerer. You should leave armor mods open in your armor so that when something happens, you can just be like, let me just quick fix on a resistance. Now I'm good.
Let me add on to that lesson. When you're level 18,
When you're level 18. Yeah, it doesn't really work.
As soon as you can get Master Crafter.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm drowning. Adjustable
Which is
buoyancy,
actually, I think
buoyancy.
level 10 you could get Master Crafter if that's the
Right
only
at
thing you. Yeah, if you went straight at it. And
Can I say cover as a quick action?
And Porter is not on fire.
Porter's
right?
not on fire. Porter's hurting a lot. Porter is writhing on the ground in pain.
Porter's in some ways worse than on fire.
May I? Okay, so this is again not in the rules, so please feel free to say no. May I try to
Perform an exorcism.
ward? Yeah, can I like ward? Like act like do an active ward on his like boop his head.
I would
How
I would
please.
call that a focused action, which you do not have.
Okay.
But the
Okay,
end,
fine.
but to for the future reference, yes,
Uh-huh.
you can go and try to remove that luminescent energy that is affecting his body
Okay.
as a focused action using your warding.
Okay. I'll run over to Gus.
Okay,
A master
Gus
craft.
is right in front of this thing.
A master craft. Wait, does anybody have any armor left? Any gaps in their armor left? I'm gonna give somebody else.
I've got 3 armor.
I've given you such good armor. Just you wait.
I know. No, you asked the question.
I didn't mean you. I'm still mad at you. We didn't do a kiss.
My armor is only got one mod point left on it.
Oh, okay. I assume you've moved out, Daniel.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing light armor, which can fit so few mods.
Yeah, no. Okay. Cool. Great. Fun. I've like run over to Porter, Master Crafton, another fire resistant.
Sorry. Sorry, I only have 1 mod point.
How
Sorry.
dare you?
I thought
Fine.
you were asking damage. I thought you were gonna.
Yeah,
he only
has 3 armor points remaining.
Something else.
All right.
You can
All
make
right.
it crude.
Addie, if you'd like a suggestion, I just remembered that we do each have a cryo capsule.
Oh, yeah. Can I hook a cryo capsule as a quick action?
Yes. What is the what is the quality of this cryo capsule?
That is a good question. I wrote that down because we got it out of brimstone. These are brimstone ones,
Yeah,
so I assume they're pretty good.
Chekhov's cryo capsule.
Check
That's
this
right.
cryo capsule.
Depends on
Um,
how much they care about the grunts.
I
being
think
on
it's probably
fire.
actually standard quality.
No,
honestly.
it was in the lab.
It was in the lab. Yeah. This is from the loot that we took.
Oh, do you not have the quality? Did it not?
I have.
I wrote it down, and I don't think I've got the quality. I just have cryo capsules. It says.
I have. Melee tangle, fire, cryo capsule. I just have cryo capsule. Next to it, Soma pharmaceutical cryo capsule.
Cool, standard quality.
Okay.
So that's a 10-foot radius, which is enough to
Yeah.
get most of the fire that's immediately relevant to this fight out. So yeah, you absorb the necessary components to make your armor fire resistant, and then for extra measure, you pull out of your satchel a spherical device that when you toss it at one of these burning bookshelves, it immediately bursts with this kind of like chalky grayish white smoke that clings to the burning parts of the things around here and puts out all the fires.
Yes.
At least in the hallway. There's still fire burning in the archives behind the Raven.
Okay. Well, that's next, I guess. Then I would like to double down.
Oh, Eloise with the double down.
Oh no.
AFC double down.
So that's a 3 grit.
Guess what am I supposed to do with
now.
22 grit?
And
I'm
then
about to be
I
really
would,
mean is what's about to happen.
Yeah, no.
Also, I only have
This is why I'm doubling down.
I only have 1 grit, by the way. I'm sorry to. Sorry
Oh,
to
no, thank you.
report.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I would like to go boot Porter on the face.
With you
What?
want to use your
So
focused action to
ward.
use ward. Okay, cool. Let's roll an opposed test.
Okay.
Anti-magic kiss.
If I did it as a kiss, could I get bonus?
Anti-magic
Come
kiss
on.
like Sleeping Beauty. or Snow
Are
White.
you gonna go
The whole
down?
time Porter's going,
Porter is writhing in pain. Do you try to kiss him?
No, it was a joke.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Mr.
He-
Grumpy Pants.
I'm just checking.
Roll finesse to hit his mouth.
No, you can't. I'm breaking up with you. Valentine's Day.
Now the time.
That's another one of your catchphrases,
Eloise.
Porter. Is now the time?
It's never the time.
Eloise, you are up
Yes.
against an 11.
Okay. Perfect. Hold on. I have a reliability. I have a 12.
12? Is that
Yes.
one net success?
I will twist them out.
Well, so Porter, you were affected. I got 4 net successes over you, right? No, I got 3 net successes over you? No, 4. I got 4. That's why you're prone and can't move. Yeah.
I might have -4 here.
Every success you get reduces the severity of the effect that is on him.
All right.
But I already rolled 4. Okay. Well, this is all I can do. If I twist the knife, I can get 2.
Are you going to twist the knife and get 2?
Yes.
Okay.
And I still have my 1 safety grip for when I die.
Don't say when.
I don't know. Was now the time to save me? Porter
I'm getting to
doesn't
it.
have a last name. Janus. Middle name. Initial.
Actually, that is my middle name. You just guessed it on the first try.
A first name, quotes, doesn't have a last name. Last name is a fucking excellent bandit name.
That's really funny.
Okay. So, Porter, you'll be able to move on your turn
Oh, lovely.
when your turn comes around. You are at a -2 to all tests. But you were already prone, so you are prone, but you are actually able to move on your next turn as the pain is still there, but not nearly as overpoweringly bad. It subsides. It's like a deep, like really, really oppressive ache, but it is not like the active, like gnawing at your nervous system that it was a moment ago. As you feel a warmth and you like are able to open your eyes through the pain with spots in your vision and see Eloise, her eyes glowing and her hand glowing on your shoulder.
I was a bit too in pain to tell you this earlier, love, but you're damn impressive.
Okay.
All right. That's Eloise's double down. And Porter, it's your turn.
Yeah, excellent. Now, I want people to keep me honest. I do still have a laser rifle, don't I?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, it seems like it might be about the time to break that out.
That seems fair.
I'm gonna shoot this fucking thing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have the stats written down.
I got it for you.
Lovely.
The only thing that matters beforehand is that it's got ergonomics and a laser sight.
Lovely.
So you get a +1 to your range skill, and if this thing had cover, you would downgrade it.
Excellent. All right. Ooh, this is gonna be fun. There aren't any visibility penalties because of the smoke or anything. I guess no,
Correct.
we put the fires out.
There's still a bunch of smoke, but as I said before, currently the smoke is not anything that is going to impose penalties.
Good.
Also, this hallway is extremely well lit because last episode, Eloise made a little ball of light that was hovering around. So,
Because of orb.
Oh yeah, I have an orb just shining around me.
yeah,
Also, because there's fire.
well, not anymore.
Oh, sure.
All right.
13 is what you're up against.
God damn. No, I can't beat that 13 with this roll.
Yeah. Okay. You level this, you shoulder this rifle that you got from Sheriff Fly as you stand up, like Eloise helps you up. You stand and then you shoot this laser shot out. This thing moves with preternatural speed, kind of ducking down, its wings arching out to balance it, and your shot just barely misses, flying in and bursting in like against the stone behind it, kind of like melting it a little bit.
You're a fast fucker. And just to be clear, I can't fire that again, right?
It is a focus action to fire it, so you are you'll have to wait till your next turn to fire again.
Yeah. All right. What do I have enough left to find cover?
To find cover, you can like pull back, but you can't really gain cover. The hallway doesn't lend itself to you doing so without taking it without using a quick action.
I'll take like just a defensive position with L.
Okay, cool.
And we'll strike a cool pose or something.
Yeah. You shoot the shot, and the recoil like pushes you back, and you're shoulder to shoulder with L. Her shield out, her eyes glowing. The like energy emitters along the like barrel of this rifle like kind of cooling down as you like pull down, and like it like starts charging up the next shot. You slam it into place. You're about to get ready to fire again. Vance goes.
Come on, Vance.
Vance is right next to this thing, and Vance full on like runs away from Gus and Eloise and Porter and the Raven, a little bit past Dex, does pull out his gun and does take a shot at the Raven.
Okay, Vance.
All right.
It is not a good shot. He does miss, but he does take a shot at it. It's not like he's not like fleeing like a civilian or anything, but he is not a gunslinger.
He was in the wrong spot for the things he knows how to do.
Yeah. He fires a shot, and actually as he gets back, let me think. Actually, I have to actually think for a second. Vance has priorities. He fires a shot and he doesn't run all the way back. He runs up to Eloise. And he goes, "Do you have another one of them on you?"
Yeah.
He grabs the cryo capsule that you have, and he hucks it into the archives. And you see many of the flames that are kind of burning in that smoke behind you, or behind the Raven, go out, but some of them are still alight. And because of that, Vance actually is not able to get himself completely out of danger's way, because he wanted to try and preserve the archives to the best of his abilities.
Good.
It is the Raven's turn now. This thing looms, Gus in the forefront, fists up. Eloise and Porter like shoulder to shoulder, and right next to them a rather scared looking Vance, and then a few paces back Dex with his guns drawn. This thing looms over, its wings kind of folding back as it like assesses the lot of you. And you see as it begins reconstituting some of its body. Much of the damage that has been dealt to it seems to begin repairing. It's similar to when and God, I feel like I should honestly remember this man's name, but it was
Jack
quite
Taylor?
Yes. It's similar to when you guys were fighting Jack Taylor, where his body would be broken, and out of the glowing core of like that energy that was keeping him going, like more of that like kind of like ashen, like charred, like shrapnel would like begin to form. It's very similar. parts of this body that have been broken from the fight begin reforming, this kind of like crystalline, almost see-through, like jagged, sharp, dark jade green, begins to form, repairing a lot of those wounds, and also connecting parts of the body as this sort of almost avian, humanoid form begins to start to take a little bit more form, as this thing begins repairing itself. And it does that. And then, it is going to attack. And what it's going to do is its wings are going to like stretch out. It's going to pull back, and right in that chest wound that was in the torso that Dex created with his shot, the green light is going to coalesce and burn brighter before it launches out in a bright beam that goes boom as it stretches out over the hallway, and it is going to target. 1 second.
Hyper beam.
You've seen something like this once before when you were fighting Jack Taylor.
Hopefully it too has to spend its next turn recharging.
Okay. I need Eloise, Gus, and Porter. Yes, and Porter to take a defense test.
Am I still partially blind, or did that go away at the beginning of its turn?
It will go away at the end of its turn.
Yeah, its turn. Cool.
At a -2. Okay.
Not that I imagine the test is better. Is this a thing like Jack Taylor's laser that you could use warding against?
Yeah, can I ward against
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yes. A defense
you? I
test
was
or a
about to
ward.
ask the same thing.
Oof. Okay. Currently, I have a 15.
Yeah. Oh, you've got a 7.
Was I observed performing an amazing feat of athleticism?
Yeah.
You ripped that shield off.
Yeah, I think so. Getting that hit while you were grappled was an amazing feat of athleticism.
Cool. And I definitely referenced the religious text earlier. I'm gonna take 2 grit, or I'm gonna take a grit, and then I'm gonna spend my 2 grit and count the 17.
Okay.
I cannot get to 15.
You are all also going to take a grit.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Because I am going to go it strong to get past my own inflict pain.
Oops.
So that I can count these 17s.
You know, if you drop that, you're not
These
inflicted that
17s?
Yes.
Ugh, you absolute jerk.
I will say though, you making, what was your number before the before you made it 7 so you could count 17s?
11.
Yeah, that's a good improvement for you.
Yeah, certainly.
I just technically I have to spend my grit first. I was going to do it because I rolled. Guys may have heard me go oof because I rolled 2 17s. So I knew that I was going to have to go it strong. You got a little ahead of me, but basically, if your number was like a 16 and you made it a 17, then I'd be like, take your grit back. But in this instance, you are negating net successes by making it. So I can only count 17s.
I was sure I would be.
However, I did get 2 17s.
That's me. With you.
So Gus got 17. Eloise and Porter, what'd you get?
Porter got a 7. 10 less.
Okay. Eloise?
I got a 14. High.
Okay.
It is the highest I could go before I got this grit, but I can't count. I can't take the grit yet. So.
Okay, cool. You guys are all going to take additional grit.
Great.
Can I
Christ.
ward for Porter?
I'm going to twist the knife. You can spend your initiative to try and ward for Porter. You still have to beat a 17 to do it.
Yeah,
Actually, I have a question before you ward for Porter.
but okay.
This is an insight power?
It's not an insight power. It is an attack that is powered by insight. If that makes sense. It's not using shine, right? So it's not an insight power. It is an
It's like
attack.
when you hulked up and then
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Would shielded psyche work on this?
No, I think you actually. The answer is no, because it is physical, right? It's physical in form.
Fine. That's fine. Spend a bunch of talent points on a cool talent. Don't let it be cool. That's fine.
But warding can in fact be used as a defense against this because of the way that warding works.
Are you just gonna dive in front of all of us and deflect it with your mind?
Yes.
No.
100%. Well, I was going to dive in front of Porter.
Sure.
Um,
I thought your
okay.
question was gonna be, how important is Porter to you, really?
I mean,
um,
another fair question.
yeah, okay. I will. So if I'm unsuccessful, I don't ward against it at all. I can't reduce the degree of warding or whatever.
You and this pretty you can technically reduce it. Your defense test becomes his defense test, but if you fail, it's still whatever gets through gets through. So you
Yeah,
can you could effectively roll
Okay.
better. Let me tell you what's happening first,
Okay.
though. You are I have 4 because I twist the knife. I have 4 net successes over Porter, 3 net successes over Gus. And Eloise, what did you roll? An 11, right?
I got a 14, but didn't Gus get a high number?
Gus got a
did.
17. I rolled 2 17s and then I twist the knife.
Right. So I got a 14. So I got worse than Gus.
Did I say your name? I said Porter I had 4 net successes against Porter
Mm-hmm.
because I twist the knife.
Right.
I have 3 net successes against Gus. I also have 4 net successes against Eloise.
Okay.
Because I twist the knife.
Okay.
I
mean,
I have 2 17s and a 15 and a 7.
okay.
Okay, I need to know whether or not you're going to be warding or if I'm
I thought you were
proceeding
gonna.
forward.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I will.
Okay, you're spending 2 initiative.
I rolled better for him than I did for me. I mean, I can't reach a 17, let alone beat it. But because it's impossible to beat a 17. But I did roll a 15, which does nothing. Never mind. I rolled I did one. I have a 15 and a 13.
Okay. So, Eloise and Porter, you take 32 damage, 8 of which is armor piercing. Gus, you take 16 damage, 8 of which is armor piercing. Or wait, no, I said I twisted the knife, so I got 3. Plus 8.
24.
Thank you. 24, 8 of which is armor piercing.
Yeah,
Wait.
sure thing, no problem.
Sorry, real quick. What's the accuracy on this attack?
4.
I think it may not have been possible in any way for Eloise to reduce the damage information she would have known before spending her initiative award.
She can beat a 15, right? She could have made it 3 net successes instead of 4.
Oh, I don't know if you could beat a 15. I assumed you could.
No, I can't. 15 is the highest I could roll.
Oh, well then, yeah, don't ward.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
why I
no,
gave you that information. I said I had 2 17s and a 15 and a 7.
Gotcha. I got real confused. Sorry about that.
Why didn't I heal this injury last time? Because I really am upset that I have to roll 2 dice for this.
Because you got to the castle and then there was a murderous person sneaking around, so you didn't have time
It
to.
happened pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
You wanted to go on a tour.
Damn
You
it!
did wanna
It's
go on
always
a
the
tour.
tours.
You went on a tour instead of healing your injury.
All right. Well, obviously I take an injury because I'm not ready for Porter to die yet.
Okay.
Oh come on! They got stuck in the dice tower. This is gonna be terrible.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Some Shoten boys in there.
Ah!
What'd you roll, Porter?
It's a 6 and a 20.
Oh, Porter's, I believe,
Bleeding out.
bleeding out.
Bleeding out.
Yeah.
So that's one immediate loss, right? I lose one immediately, or do I wait until?
It's on your turn.
Yeah, on your turn. You take no damage
Okay.
right now, but on each
Great.
of your turns, at the beginning of each of your turns, you will take 1 direct to hit point damage until you
I don't
die.
know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. I don't get it.
Eloise?
You have mentally stopped me from being able to use a limb.
Oh.
You lose a limb?
I have lost a limb. I rolled a 16.
Okay. And Gus, are you taking an injury or are you taking the
I
damage?
have bad
Sorry, I rolled a
news.
15.
Okay.
My bad. I said 16, but it's because I was looking at the 16 on my sheet, not because that's a 15. This is the culprit.
Oh man, it would blow through all my armor and all my HP exactly this hit.
Well, you could spend 1 grit and just be at 0, or you could take an injury.
Take an injury.
All right. Don't forget that your toughness comes into play. So if you, what do you
I
have?
know it reduces it to 20.
Oh, so it's still a class 4.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
every time you point something out, Tommy, it's worse for me. Ah,
What did you roll?
that's fine actually. I have a lot of blood.
Did you roll bleeding out also? Oh my
I
god.
have so much blood. Like, I mean, I came to this battle hurt, but I have a lot of blood.
Cool. So this is what happens. Dex, you see as the wound in this thing's chest coalesces in green, bright energy. You realize what's about to happen, but there's nothing to stop it, and it launches out. This thing splays out its arms and its wings and its legs, and this big channel of energy shoots out. Vance just barely is able to like duck out of the way and not be in the cone of this thing as this bright light shines, and for a moment you lose sight of your 3 friends as it like kind of like pushes out. You manage to pull off to the side. Dex, it illuminates the entire hallway with this bright green light, and then the tail of it passes by you, Dex, and you look forward, and you see something rather horrific. You see left, right. Okay. You see Eloise dropped down on one knee, her left leg like broke, like all of the armor like scorched black, like as if it was a dead limb, down on the ground, and she kind of like pulled up her shield, and then the light managed to mostly just converge on her leg, and she drops down, her leg completely shriveled. Your left leg, Eloise, has been completely incapacitated, and then you see both Gus and Porter, their skin cracked and black, not quite burned as much as like made like necrotic, and you see blood coming out of their eyes, nose, mouths, ears, and like also like just like lesions along their body as like they just like start like kind of like coughing up blood, like they're like as if they've been hit with like radiation, as they like kind of stumble and like blink like their vision clear, as their bodies begin just effectively like shriveling in strength, and the light kind of cools down, And
I still see that core of green, like, energy.
yes. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it is like it kind of returns back to its normal form. It's like that's like where it shot out of. It's not it's not persistently the biggest.
Yeah,
core.
no, I don't assume the Raven has a glowing weak spot, but like,
but yeah. And then then it is going to charge you, Dex.
okay.
And I'm going to use a once per combat ability that this thing has.
Okay.
I'm going to take a -8. You do not.
You're gonna take a -9.
I'm going to take a -9, and you do not get a defense test as this thing lashes out at you with its claws.
Okay.
If it, yeah, that's bad. I assume it might have moved past me.
It does actually. It does. It does so in a blur of green light as it kind of phases through all of you and appears behind Dex, but it does effectively leave your position. It's not blinking.
I don't think this affects anything, but I'm gonna take a swing.
Okay, cool. This will be its.
I mean, it changes potentially its target, right?
You are up against. You are up against the 17 for this attack, Gus.
Oh, for its defense?
Yeah, it rolled a 17.
Jerk.
It is a jerk. It's a big jerk. It's like the biggest jerk turned into a monster.
Yeah, I know, for real. Boy, on a roll where I rolled a 14, a 16, and a 17. But I can't count the 16 or 7, so it's fine. I'm hanging out.
Okay. Cool. Yeah,
Bye.
you take a swing. Your vision blurred and red as blood seeps out of your eyes. You take a swing at this thing. It phases through you. You feel the rush of energy, and like Dex, you lose sight of this thing for a second, and you hear it reconstitute directly behind you as it uses the cheap shot talent to take an attack at your exposed backside. So, like I said, you don't get a defense test against this.
Mm-hmm.
Can't count this because it is still racked by its own pain.
Oops. Huge. Major.
It has reliability. Okay. So Dex, you take 16 damage, 6 of which is armor piercing.
I take an injury. Hey, if anyone ever tells you your armor doesn't need toughness, they're a liar.
It's so useful against injuries.
Because this is the difference between a class 3 and a class 2 injury for me.
Is this your second injury?
Yeah. I have been compromised, losing 1 reliability on all tests.
Okay. Yeah. It appears behind you. You dive forward, its claws scraping against the back, and it mostly knocks the wind out of you. Since it's not able to kind of hook its claws into your back, it mostly effectively shoves you even more forward. You hit the ground, tumbling and then rolling back up into a one with one knee on the ground, one knee up, guns at the ready, and you stand up facing this thing. Your friend's now extremely injured and behind you. And this thing standing between you and what you assume is the only exit to this hallway. And that's actually its turn. Gus gets to go.
Cool.
You lose 1 hit point.
Amazing. Does that give me a wound modifier? Maybe. Who's to say? Yeah, it does. Boy, Gus blinks the light out of his eyes, and sees the bad state his friends are in. How bad does Porter look?
He's fine. He is uninjured, only technically. He's got a bunch of injuries, but HP wise, he's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, then Gus is just gonna go and try to throw some punches.
Okay. Dex, you stand up at the ready, this thing kind of looming over you, its body kind of like forming around, and then you hear as Gus, weakened and bleeding, rushes past you, fists at the ready, and launches at this thing.
Yeah, full offensive.
All
Going
right.
after it. No more blinded. Full strength Gus, technically.
You are up against an 11.
Oh, that's such good news. These 12s both count.
Oh.
Of course I have nothing higher than these 12s. That is 14 damage, 6 piercing.
Okay.
And I swing again.
Yeah, go for it. You're up against a 12.
These 15s both count.
Oof.
14 more, 6 piercing. One last go.
Okay.
Rolling 18s, which is technically my target. These dice want to help.
You're up against a 14 this time. I had to make
Got
sure I could count it.
115.
Okay, cool. So,
So that's 7 damage, 6 piercing. So Gus is struggling out here. He's burnt out and he's bleeding, and he could tell he's losing something in this fight. And so he's not going for the meaty punches, he's not going for haymakers. He's just trying to get these blades into something.
Gus, you hear the sound of Gus running by you, and you can feel the labor in his movements. And you see as he sprints by you, pretty much in good form, but kind of stumbling, like a little bit like wobbly, as he gets in, kind of shoulder checks this thing to like kind of find it, and then just starts like pop, 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 just like a lot of body shots on this thing, like cracking and breaking, shrapnel falling off and dissipating into green mist as it breaks, as Gus just goes to work trying to chip away at this thing's form, with like desperate, quick, like precise punches.
It's late rounds. Let's go for the body. Let's test you got that gut.
And is that it for you? Yeah, that's it for you, Gus, right? Yeah.
That's it.
Dex, it's your turn. And you're not on fire.
Hey, baby. Okay. So thinking back to when we were fighting Jack Taylor, and obviously being able to watch Gus fight this thing, like how toughness does this thing look? Like, does it seem like its armor is eating a lot of hits, or like, can I gauge that?
It's let me look at it in comparison to Jack Taylor. Let me see. It's actually pretty similar in toughness to Jack Taylor. The hardest part, like a lot of the blows are landing. The hardest part is this thing seems able to regenerate at a speed that Jack Taylor also was able to.
Mhm.
So while the damage sets in, it definitely like pulls back its form really quickly. You can see even in spots where Gus is punching, like he punches and they break and immediately start to try and reform. Another thing that actually, since you're asking, kind of like key into is when Jack Taylor was injured and hadn't fully reconstituted like those parts of it that were injured, it was hindered by that. But it seems like any damage done to the physical form of this thing does not stop that kind of shadowy green image from having the full range of speed and dexterity that it had at the very beginning of the fight. Like, you guys had it pretty fucking like beat up, but then it reconstituted itself really effectively. But even during that time where it was beat up, it was still moving with precision and speed that Jack Taylor did actually show signs of being injured when he was attacked.
So it doesn't look like this thing is really feeling its wounds.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I will pull back to Porter and kneel down by Porter. Hey, yourself first. If you go down, nobody can help them. And then I take 2 shots at the Raven.
Okay. You are up against a... sorry. I went to bamboozle you. Don't tell me what you rolled. I'm going to bamboozle you 3 times on this first shot. You are up against a 12.
Yeah, sure. So a -3 puts me at 11. So I will spend 2 grit that I owned before this.
You did?
And play to the gallery to count this 12.
All right.
Which turns into nothing. So it's 8 damage, no armor piercing.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll take my second shot.
I'll bamboozle you 3 times again.
Okay.
Oh. You're only up against a 10.
Well, it was a good bamboozle, Tommy.
Ah. Success.
But you've thrown a lot of grit at me.
Yes.
I double down.
Yes. Puts you down to 3 grit, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically you kneel down next to Porter, you say those words, Porter, you hear that, you see like Eloise like kind of looking down at her shriveled, like scorched leg. You see Gus just like bleeding from like multiple spots on his body, just like throwing like increasingly like weaker punches at this thing as he is just trying to stay on his feet and keep going. Dex kneels down next to you and his voice cuts through that din for a moment. He says some words, and then before you have a chance to respond, the loud shots of his hard caliber pistols ring out as he stands up and fires 2 clean shots. The red etchings on his guns glowing bright in the darkness as the shots fly out. And this thing seems to move preternaturally, just taking glancing blows from Dex's first shot, and then Dex's second shot just barely missing the mark. But that doesn't stop Dex. He keeps going.
I don't stand up.
Okay.
I take both of those shots from a knee because what I do is I holster both of my guns and I grab Porter's laser and tell more than ask, I'm going to borrow this for a second. And I take a shot with the laser.
Wow, what a time for me to roll a lot of 8s.
I have bad news for the rich.
I the reliability helps me not. Everything was a success. The highest is an 8.
Okay. Well, you can have an additional grit as I play to the gallery to count this 50.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, you like to see that. That turns into a 9, which is not usually a good number. But in this case is. But I got an 8, a 13, a 9, and a 15.
Lovely.
This bad
Funny
boy
it was
has 4 accuracy.
Oh,
How much
Uh,
damage?
That is 28 damage, 8 armor piercing. You do not get any toughness.
ooh, we. That's a big one.
Ha. Yeah. Dex fires 2 shots, holsters them, says, "I'm gonna borrow this," and then like pulls the like strap of the laser rifle off of Porter, kind of like wrapping it around his forearm instead of like slinging it fully over him, and he uses that to kind of shoulder the rifle. And then Porter, you've already like kind of charged it up, so Dex, you just squeeze the trigger and it just goes, and you watch as this bright golden red light just kind of like launches forward and then becomes thicker and shatters so much of this thing's frame, making the green energy flicker as this thing stumbles back. And Gus, you get a moment of reprieve. You've been like ducking and diving and like hitting punches, and you're able to take like a few deep breaths that you like kind of cough a little bit of blood after, as this thing is knocked back like a couple feet, not like enough for you to like punish cowardice or anything, but knocked back a couple feet from the force of this blow, its whole body having to like actually reach out and grab onto the edges of this hallway to keep itself steady as it kind of pulls itself back into a looming position over Gus. Much of its crystalline form vaporized, and its green kind of like image of luminescent energy faded and flickering.
You can have this. And I set the gun back down next to Porter.
Eloise, it is your turn. You sit there seeing what has just transpired, but also acutely aware of the fact that there's no pain, but you do not feel your leg. You do not feel your leg. You have no ability to move it. There's kind of this weird ache at your hip where it is attached, as if there is weight there that you are unable to do anything with. And as you move, you see your like shriveled leg kind of crack and creak against the movement.
Okay. All right. Well, would you say that an item was successfully crafted under pressure earlier?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
100%.
Okay. So now I'm up to 4 grit.
Oh, because an item you crafted proved necessary also? Yeah.
Okay. So, the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to, attempt to sever sense on this thing.
Okay.
Reminder, it continues to be on its inflict pain train itself.
I am aware.
Okay.
That does mean, oh my god. Do I spend, I might spend grit.
Okay. That is a pretty good roll.
What's your highest?
My highest is only a 13.
All right. I'm spending grit.
Okay.
to go it strong.
Okay.
So you are at 5 grit now, and I can count my 14s.
Great. I I would like to double down.
Okay.
Okay. Um. Okay. So that brings me back to my one stay alive grit. We're in the belly of a castle, right?
Yes.
Would you say that there are rocks over it?
The structure of this castle is extremely fortified.
Oh, come on, give it the Eloise special.
No, it's
There
fine,
is
it's
a
fine.
lot of debris, heavy, strong debris around.
I would like to take the heaviest, strongest debris I can.
Yeah, there's a lot of like extremely heavy, broken, a little bit charred bookshelves
That's fine.
that are no longer on fire.
It's
Ancient
heavy, strong
hardwood
debris. I
Yeah,
have a
right.
name.
These ancient hardwood oak bookshelves.
Yes.
Cool. And I would like to this isn't gonna work out the way I wanted. Shoot. Dang shoot. Yeah, I would like to pick up some of that stuff and throw it at him. Drop it on him if I can, of course. But shocking, I know. So, but this is not the range test. This is the can I lift it up?
Yes.
I can.
Okay. Make sure you
It's
spend
four, it's 4 successes. I did spend the shine.
Now, do you have Psionic Menace? Are you picking up 3 sections of debris, or is it just the one?
I do not have.
You guys grab the biggest one you can. Got it.
Yeah. And I can't blood tithe to get a plus on this ranged attack, can I?
Correct, because you are not activating a luminescent power.
Okay.
You are not digging into.
Yeah, this is nothing. I should not have done this.
It's symbolic.
He's been attacked a number of times.
Yeah, it would have been better to
Dramatic.
just try to do it again.
It's in here.
Do the other thing that I just tried to do, the sever sense again.
What are you doing?
I'm picking up a bookshelf and or rock and or heavy wooden door with a lock you can't see through or whatever, and throwing it at this guy.
Okay, cool. So your finesse attribute is replaced by your insight attribute, but you are using ranged.
Oh, I hate that I'm rewinding a little bit. Can I roll this as an opposed test against him and just smash him against the wall? Is that still a range test? Moving him about if I win?
Yeah. So, okay. So you want?
I'll just do the original
Do you
thing.
remember
I'm so
your roll
sorry.
from the original? Like,
I haven't changed it.
okay. Do you want to, instead of grabbing a piece of debris, you want to try and grab this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are up against a 13.
Okay. Cool. I have 2 net successes.
Okay, so that means you get 2 instances of control over this thing.
Cool.
If you
See if
attempt,
this bird can
if you
fly.
attempt to, if you're attempting to shove it into something and deal damage, it does roll athletics against basically your you're basically trying to like throw it, so you're using athletics with your insight as the muscle attribute.
Sure.
So is that what you're attempting to do, or are you doing something else?
No, I'll just do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your muscle is replaced by your insight attribute.
No, I know.
Okay.
I can't win this fight. This was a serious misstep on my part. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
We're vibing. We're hanging.
Yeah, we're vibing. It's okay. I can make mistakes. I just lost my leg. It's all shriveled up.
I mean,
Gross.
you have gained telekinetic control over this thing's physical movement. Pretty
That's
good.
good. That's
Okay.
a good job.
I have no hits.
Okay. Well, then I guess my 5 is good.
It would have been anyway because my target is currently a 3 for athletics.
Aha. Yeah, so you feel this connection as you reach out. Your eyes glow gold. Your palm glows gold. You feel this connection as you kind of connect with this thing's form, and you like kind of pull and try and shove, and you manage to like make it waver a little bit, but it's able to plant itself down and hold on without you being able to.
But I get one more movement on it later, so its movement is subject to my thoughts, so it can stay freaking put.
Yeah, you effectively have it in not quite a grapple, but sort of a grapple. As you were holding on to it. And with that, it is Porter's turn.
Yeah, Porter kind of pulls himself into a sitting position and pulls out his med kit and sees Eloise like overcoming what is clearly a very serious injury to still get up and try and get a hold of this thing. And he fights the urge to go and help her. He fights the urge to go and help Gus, and he just says to himself over and over, stick to the plan, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. And he's going to try and treat this injury. The bleeding out, which
On himself?
as a class 4, yeah, exactly.
Well, so first off, you do lose 1 hit point because your turn starts. And then it's a class 4 injury, which for you means you only need 4 successes. However, this situation is very bad. Not only are you trying to treat yourself, but it is full of smoke, soot. There's blood, tears, and sweat everywhere. And I would go so far as to assume that Porter is slightly distracted. So this is going to be an unopposed roll, but it's going to be at a -6.
A -6, okay. Okay. And I assume it's only 4 because of Doctor, right? That's the reducing of by 1.
Yeah.
Good. Just wanted to make sure. And your I'm sorry, I'm angling for this. Your negatives are factoring in field medic as well.
Yeah. Like your field medic doesn't affect these negatives.
I'm healing as if I'm outside of combat.
What that mainly allows you to do is first you can treat an injury, and second, it only takes 2 initiative instead of 4.
Lovely. I would like to make my own luck.
Okay.
That's the second 20 I've rolled on a reroll in a row. I'm going to make my own luck one more time.
Wait, how many successes do you have right now?
3.
Twist the die.
Oh, what? That does make sense.
Also, you can only make your own luck up to like how many dice did you roll initially at this test?
I rolled 4 dice.
Yeah, so you can only make your own luck once. Because
is it really?
yeah. because you can only ever have 5 dice at your initial roll, basically.
I always forget about twist the knife. All right, that's fine. That puts me down to 2. Is that right?
Yep. But you do get your 4th success, so you do treat your injury.
Lovely.
So you're like stick to the plan, you start like folding out parts of your Omni tool, and they basically, as you fold them out, they attach to your like different parts of your limbs, because you feel this like ache within you, this like kind of like internal bleeding that is happening from like the force of the energy that like surrounded and like submerged your body. And so like you like immediately just like you detach one piece, it attaches to your forearm, you detach another, it like attaches to your chest, you like pull up over and you like detach 2 parts, and they like attach to like either of your shoulders, and like there's these sharp pains as basically multiple needles all like jam in at the same time on each of these devices you're putting on yourself, and they like pump you full of stuff, and then also like start like pulling out like basically like blood that's where it's not supposed to be, and like kind of folding it up, and then like as like you kind of like pull back and shout out in pain, you feel like those lesions within your body begin to like seal up and be like stitched up and sealed, and then you like drop down kind of gasping for air, and those pieces of your med kit kind of fall down, and you're able to put them back together and like get there, and you have these like this almost like kind of square like many dots of like needle punctures on each of those spots where it was, as basically like a dozen to like 24 needles all just kind of like really quickly jammed in, each one like injecting like a necessary fluid into your body and then pulling out. But those little pin pricks that kind of make these like weird square patches on your skin are nothing compared to the fact that the blood is no longer pouring out of your nose, mouth, eyes, and ears. The flow stops. And now you are just covered in your own blood, as opposed to continuing to cover yourself in your own blood.
I assume with a terrible, terrible headache.
Yes, everything is terrible. You feel really bad.
Good. After doing that, can I make it to where Eloise is?
Yeah, you're right next to her still.
That's perfect. Okay, I'm okay. Can I like kind of get her attention, and I say I'm okay. Can I try and take care of this?
Sure.
Okay.
Just don't. I'm just holding. I'm holding him.
Yeah. Stay focused as much as you can.
If
it's not gonna feel good, okay?
Oh well, I mean, nothing really. Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, can he do that? Well, again? Oh, did you double down?
No, you didn't double down. You don't have any more actions, Porter. So
I can just get to where she is.
Yeah.
That's the start of the communication.
Yeah. It is now Vance's turn.
All right, Vance, bring us home.
Vance.
Kill this bad boy.
Vance, seeing the horrific terror that has befallen everybody and the injuries. Oh, +1 great supporter from the Packwalk.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Packwalk.
Seeing everything that has transpired, Vance is going to begin setting Porter up for success. He is going to kneel down next to Eloise and begin helping Porter get ready to treat Eloise's wound. So he is going to spend his turn effectively assisting you, Porter, on your next first aid test.
Lovely, Vance.
So from Vance, you get... It wasn't his best roll. Oh, wait. I spoke too soon. Okay. You get a +4 from Vance. As Vance kneels down and is like, all right, let me help, and like starts grabbing like parts of your med kit and starts configuring things, and you and him are working together now to try and assess Eloise as she kind of like kneels there holding this tether against this creature.
Good lad.
And with that, it is now the Raven's turn. So it has been shot a lot by Dex, and it doesn't like that very much. It also doesn't like that Gus is right up in its face. So first thing it's going to do is it is going to reconstitute some of its body.
I would actually be more worried if it did like how much it had been shot.
I don't like that my biggest inconvenience to it is seemingly my proximity and not the reign of bliss.
I mean, he doesn't like that either.
Sure.
It is unable to reconstitute itself fully, it would seem. As it does begin to reform and move swiftly, but the damage you are dealing to its physical form seems to exceed what it is, or seems to exceed. Oh yeah, those are gone. Seems to exceed what it is able to rebuild on itself, as like those crystals begin forming again, but not as quickly as you're taking them away. And it is going to burst with psionic energy once more, and we'll have Gus, Dex, and Eloise roll to resist a insight power.
You have to take a -1 because of my mental barriers.
Ooh. No, that mattered.
Get fucked.
You're up against a 10.
Oh. Nice. I'm good.
You're good? Let's go, Gus.
Wait, is it... Oh, no, it's an insight power. It's not something I dodge.
Correct. You have to roll discipline. Or warding if you have good warding, but...
Oh, wait, but is this considered a defense test for the purpose of Sixth Sense?
No, this is a resist. It's full on a resist.
Full on a resist.
So you don't, it's not your like cumulative negatives for defending don't matter, but also Sixth Sense doesn't help here.
So it's only a discipline roll?
Yeah.
Bad.
While you decide, I use Shielded Psyche.
Okay. You succeed.
I rolled bad.
Yeah, no, I'll take it. I'm not using my last 2 grit to get a 7.
Eloise, you're up against a 10.
I kid you not. I straight rolled 5 10s.
What?
Yahtzee.
That's
right.
wild.
I rolled 5 dice. I can't do anything. There's nothing I can do to this roll to make it work.
I believe that means your reflective ward is shockingly effective against this thing.
No, because it's a defense test. Aggressor wins.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You are the defender, so you are. Damn, that would have been insane. That would have been
It would be wild if the most effective hindrance to this thing is that it keeps accidentally casting its powers on itself.
I would love that so much if it was like...
Too
If
bad.
these were 11s.
Too bad. If those were 11s, if you rolled 5 11s, that would have been insane. All right, so Eloise got a 10. Gus, what was your highest?
5 10s.
I have no hits.
Oh, okay. And Dex used Shielded Psyche.
Can I ward for... Do I have enough initiative to ward for
For Gus?
Gus?
You do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh.
I'm trying to beat a 10. Also, you get a +1 grit to +1 grit to Eloise. I was going to throw this your way to bamboozle it. So you are at 2 grit, Eloise.
All right. Well. Okay. Okay. Well, Gus is fine. Gus is fine. I rolled a 12, an 11, a 7, a 6, and a 2. So that's 2.
Does that let you reflect
on the ward for him?
Okay, so you spend 2 initiative. How many net successes?
2.
2? Okay.
Does that proc?
Yeah.
Reflective ward?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's just 2 successes.
Okay, cool. Which effectively sustains because you already had it affected by 2, so now it basically is replaced by 2 again, so it doesn't matter. If you were to spend grit to twist the knife, you could make it 3.
Do I have enough grit?
But
Is it
you're
2
at 2. You're at 2 grits. You would be going to 0 to try and make its negative worse, which you could do. You're gonna do it. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes, come live with me on the edge.
I hope you all know the seriousness of this, that I am not keeping 1 grit.
So what happens is Porter and Eloise sits there kind of unable to move as Porter and Vance begin like setting up the med kit to treat her leg. Eloise, you kind of turn and your leg kind of cracks and like crumbles a little bit, and you don't feel it at all. You just kind of feel this like dead weight at your hip. You're reaching out, you're holding on to this thing. It like kind of like bends over, and that kind of green energy bursts out again like it did at the beginning of the fight. It washes over Dex. You stand stalwart against it. You are ready. It washes over Eloise and Gus. Eloise, you are affected by this.
Yeah, so can it be like I like see that it's gonna hit Gus and I like move my stuff over at him?
Yeah, so you see the energy kind of like coalescing around Gus, and instead of holding up the shield in front of you, you send out this gold light that kind of shoves the gold light or the green light away from Gus, kind of dissipating it, leaving you open as the wave hits you, and you are racked with some pain in the parts of your body that you can still feel. You're going to be at a minus. It's only a -1. I only got 1 net success over you. So you know what? I'm going to do this. That's too late. I was going to give you grit, basically. I was going to twist the knife.
I mean, you could twist the knife a couple of times. I think I'm done.
I'm going to twist the knife 4 times.
Yeah, do it.
You have 4 grit, Eloise.
Hooray. A flashback. I was never here. I'm just kidding. So, currently at a -5. Plus, I can't move.
Yeah, so this energy kind of like, there's like this kind of like feedback loop like between Eloise and this thing as Eloise cuts through to wipe Gus clean, and then the energy wraps around her as that wave that she shot at Gus reaches up and hits this thing, and both Eloise and this creature fall prone. Because Eloise, you got 3 successes, which means it falls prone. It is at a -3. It has fallen prone. You are at a -4. You fall prone, and you are unable to move next turn. Not a huge difference to your situation. But Porter and Vance shout out because when Eloise falls over, her broken, like crusty, like dead leg snaps in a disconcerting way. And she falls down, and you are going to have a harder time healing it now, which just, I mean, you had that +4 from Vance helping you out, but the negative that was going to be not a -6 will now be a -6. So Vance basically makes it a -2 for you, Porter, when it comes around to your turn. As the damage on her leg is worse as she tumbles to the ground. It's still attached at the hip, but it is not looking good. Eloise, you are racked with unimaginable pain as it courses through you, and both you and this creature shout out in tandem in pain as it falls down in front of Gus. This kind of golden light, like Gus, you felt like energy push into you. You pull back, you see that gold light wrap around you and shoot out and hit this thing. It falls down, and you stand up unharmed as this thing hits the ground, an easier target for you.
Thank It's
Also,
wrestling with
us-
L.
Also, I still have it in telekinesis.
You do.
It's not good enough. That's my whole thing.
From its downed position, it is going to lash out at you, Gus.
All right.
So go ahead and roll a defense test.
Yeah, why not? Ooh, actually, that matters. Yeah, what's it got?
I had to make sure I could remember what it could count. Okay. Right now it has a 7.
That's not near enough.
Yeah. So this is a good time for grit. I just picked up this 16. Where did it go? I can't find a 16 on a D20. I'm lost. I'm lost and sad. What's your highest though?
17.
Oh. Okay. Well then spending grit doesn't do me a whole lot of good. How many net successes do you have over a 7?
Over 7, I got 5.
Okay. How many net successes would you have over a 6? Or sorry, a 16. A 16.
2.
Yeah, okay. I'll still spend the grit then.
You mean person. God dang
What?
it.
You don't want to eat a 5 net success counterpunch?
You have an additional grit. I go it strong, so I can count these 16s. But you still actually managed to hit it back for how much damage?
I think I was offensive at the end of my last turn, which
that's-
means it's 14 damage, 6 piercing. Dang, that would have been the dream. It would have been 35. Oh,
Okay. So this thing drops down as this golden light kind of actually begins creeping into the crystallized body and cracking it. It lashes around and just swipes at you, Gus. You're able to catch that swipe and then just pop, 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 throw in a few more shots as you kind of stumble back and catch your balance and then move back forward. And it swipes at you again.
okay.
This time you were up against an 11.
Oh, what a bad roll. I got a 9.
Okay. Why not twist the knife? Why not?
Why not?
Gus, you have 4 grit. I am down to 1 grit. As Gus, you take. Oh, that is not where I want to be looking. In my notes. Gus, you take 12 damage, 6 of which is armor piercing.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take an injury.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find where I had it opened. It opened in Microsoft Edge.
Ugh.
Why would you do that?
Ew.
Hey, give Edge a shot, please. Don't just use us to download Chrome.
Oh my god. Ugh, this is
What'd you
that's
get?
embarrassing.
Are you knocked down?
Yeah, hard fall.
Yeah, this thing's thrashing around. Its body is huge. It doesn't so much claw you as its thrashing gets underneath you and knocks you down. And you hit the ground hard. The wind knocked out of you, head clanged against the ground, against the floor. You are still internally bleeding. Your vision blurred by the blood. You are toppled over and basically underneath this thing's thrashing body as it is in so much pain that it has been knocked prone. Gus, it is your turn.
All right. I can't move, right? We're just wrestling.
Yeah,
around
you're
on this
both you're
floor.
both down on the ground. You're both prone, so you're gonna be at a -2, but it's also at a -2.
All right, bud. Let's swing until someone's done.
Yeah, Gus, instead of standing up, just like rolls over on top of this thing and just keeps punching.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Oh no, I can't. Oh, I can't go strong. You're up against a 9.
Ooh, that means both of these 9s count.
Oh, what a fucking like brawl this has turned into.
Yeah,
This is the fight from They Live.
Yeah. So that's 3 successes. I'm in offensive mode. That's gonna be 21 damage, 6 piercing.
Okay, yeah. Gus, instead of standing up, you just kind of like grab onto this thing and roll over on top of it. This thing is thrashing around, Gus holding on. You punch a couple times, and at one point, you actually manage to grab like its head where that like fractured residual like image of like Leo Riggs's face and like kind of this like crystalline form exists, and you like slam that against the ground and then punch it a couple times, and it cracks and breaks, and then you get like thrown over and you punch a couple more times in its gut and then roll over on top of it. This thing is the most brutal like kind of tumbling fight that there could be between a very large man from Winona Valley and a truly horrific, large, lanky, winged, luminescent monster.
Get your heart out, Badlands
baby.
Pete. This is stuff of legends.
It's still your turn, right?
Oh yeah, I'm still going.
Yeah. What we
I'm
got?
still getting after it. I'm rolling bad, but we're hanging out.
It's rolling not great either. Oh, can I count this? Hold on. I can count this 11.
Oh, that's a shame. What was your next highest?
6.
Well, you can count this. What did you say? An 11?
Yeah.
All right, then it's only 1 net success. Yeah.
How much damage is that?
7, 6 piercing.
Yeah. Fucking tumbling over, not getting clean hits in. This is full on like a wrestle between you and this thing, as it is in so much pain and is just lashing out, and you are there that it is fighting both the pain in its body, but also fighting like just you because you're there. And it's like in its thrashes, it's like clawing and like scraping up your armor, but you're getting hits in where you can as you get thrashed and tossed about.
Yeah, Gus looks like the end. Like, if you ever watched distance runners on the last straightaway, Gus is using up. He feels himself like running down and bleeding out. He's using up every ounce of energy he's got in the tank, just grabbing, pulling, and throwing, doing whatever he can to get things in here.
It is fully a blur for you at this moment, Gus. Did you remember to take your 1 hit point damage at the beginning of your turn?
You bet.
Okay, cool. And with that, we move on to Dex's turn.
Now, why
Gus
would
is
we?
Another punch.
Gus is still going? Gus is
Yeah, of
still
course.
going.
Gus is a third punch. We're here 46 episodes. You don't know Gus is a
Gus
third
always
punch?
gets-
I honestly thought he had already thrown 3 punches.
So did this thing, and then pow, surprised him.
Possibly. I can only count the 7.
Oh, what was that? Gotta reroll that. Okay. Yeah, that's not good for it. A 7. That's 4 net successes for 28 damage, 6 piercing.
That's my punchy boy.
And I will double down on this goddamn thing if I gotta.
Gus, what does it look like as you beat this thing into, I would say, a pulp, but as parts of it break off, it dissipates and its form becomes weaker and more faded and so on. But you have been wrestling around with this thing. You do notice that like its luminescent, like kind of spectral form also has it's corporeal enough that like it can, like, it has weight, it has movement, but the parts of it that can be hurt are the parts that are those crystallized parts. And what does it look like as you basically break away all of that and this thing finally dies?
Yeah, Gus remembers. He remembers the training that he gave himself and all the books he read. He remembers in late rounds about dismantling an opponent. And he gets in a lucky strike against something and watches something dissipate, watches a limb that was giving him trouble sort of dissipate and break off. And he remembers that training, and he just starts literally taking pieces apart. He takes one arm, and as it's reacting to that, he knows what's going to open up next. And he goes for that limb and gets a good hit in, and it breaks off. And it's just body shot into the shoulder, into the head, body, shoulder, leg, just absolutely anticipating its reactions and just taking it apart piece by piece. This methodical thudding hammer fist down into it as he's putting every last bit of himself into these punches. Knowing every punch takes away one more little bit, and it's almost gone. And every bit helps his friends. And he tires himself out, absolutely taking every bit of this thing away.
Yeah, and with one final punch, Gus just lunges, mostly throwing the weight of his entire body with this punch rather than throwing a punch. As he just throws this final punch, breaks off the last bit, it dissipates in the air, and the spectral form of this thing flickers and then becomes this kind of like misty smoke on the ground that disappears, and Gus slams onto the ground, completely limp, your body on fire, every muscle so sore, and also this boiling pain within as you continue to die slowly from inside. Dex, you are the only one who can watch this thing fully, as Eloise has fallen down in pain. Porter and Vance are working on them. Dex, you see that happen, you look up, and you're able to, like, you have your guns ready, and you could probably take a shot, but, like, also there is a non-zero chance that in this tussle, maybe, just maybe, you'll clip Gus, and you watch as Gus just slams into this thing, finally getting that final blow, punches it, it breaks the jaw of what was once Leo Riggs's face, shattering and dissipating in mist, and this thing's form goes away, and all you see left as the green smoke kind of disappears is your friend Gus, more weary and broken than you've ever seen him, blood still oozing out of his body, his limbs numb from the fight. And that's +1 grit to Gus from Carnaxis.
Thank you, Carnaxis.
Yeah, I think Dex was already rushing towards this thing once it got knocked on the ground, planning to basically just get right up and fan the hammer into this thing. So Dex is already moving towards Gus when the fight is over.
Yeah. We will move out of initiative. Gus, you gasping for air, the wind, the smoke and air burning your lungs as you try to like catch your breath. You see Dex standing above you.
I drop to a knee and just like give him something to lean on.
Dex. Okay, look, this time I think I might have really been too old for this.
Hey, just take a breath. You're good. Breathe. Porter's working on Eloise. He's gonna get over here as soon as he can, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Speaking
Just,
of which,
keep your eyes open, keep talking.
Going for a roll.
yeah, Porter. You are at a -6, which then becomes a -2 because Vance is helping you out.
Sure. And I'm no longer in pain, right? So is that...
That's correct. Anyone who was affected by Eloise, for instance, the pain subsides, Eloise.
Hooray.
You find yourself on the ground, spots in your eyes as Vance and Porter go to work on your leg.
Excellent. Not so good. All right. Good. Not so good. Ooh. I am. What is cheaper here? Playing to the gallery or?
I don't think that you should.
Good. No, I love that. See, I love you speaking up because I always regretted not doing that in the podcast. When Pops was losing his arm. This is such a good character.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should. I think that this is okay. This is okay. Yeah, so I think maybe like Eloise, like the pain is relieved from her, and she can like look up and she can like drop all of the things that she's concentrating on and like forcing herself to do. Her eyes finally like come back to their like normal state. She's no longer glowing or anything. She drops like 6 cents, and she and Porter's like sweating it, right? Like he's like trying to do like something, and she's just like, it's okay. It's okay. And she like puts her hand on his hand and is like basically to like stop him from like, he's like pulling out weird like stuff that like she's never seen before, this medical equipment. She's like, don't, it's okay.
Yeah, Porter, you and Vance are basically trying to like connect parts of the med kit to her leg to rejuvenate it and like just like channel in a bunch of like extremely advanced chemicals to try and like change what had turned into a petrified like charred broken leg back into a living limb. And as you're trying to get it, this is beyond like you're stretching your med kit to its limits. You're like in the moment coming up with ways that you could configure this to maybe, just maybe save this limb. And you start panicking. Vance is like following your lead. You're handing him stuff and he's putting it in where you say. And every time you attach something, another like chunk of her leg kind of crumbles a little bit into like ash. And in that moment where you're like not 100% sure you can do it, the sweat is in your eyes, washing the blood off of your face. Eloise puts her hand on your hand. And as she tells you that it's okay, you stop. Vance stops. And a few seconds later, like ash in the wind, her leg is gone.
It's okay.
Porter, you can see like the tears starting to form in his eyes. And he kind of like pulls you in for a rough kiss, says, I love you forever. And tells Vance, make sure nothing else falls off. I need to attend to him.
Vance nods and starts like treating basically Eloise's hip where her leg it was attached and is kind of this like raw, a petrified part of her body.
I think I'm like, no, you can go help him. It's fine. And I like take out 5 machinery cubes and start making prosthetic.
God, he's impressive. He was impressive.
Porter, you want to try and treat Gus? Gus, take a hit point damage.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's get rid of that one.
Yeah, I think Dex is over here just like talking to Gus, like, isn't there one where like Alana talks to the stars or something? Tell me about that one. What's that one about?
No, she walks in the stars, but she talks while she's there. Oh, hey, Porter.
Oh, this looks just fine. You're going to be all right. Yeah. What were you saying about the stars? Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's not working.
Does Porter look hurt?
I mean, he doesn't look great.
He looked hurt, but he looked hurt, but he's actually completely fine. The injury he healed completely, and he's just slowed down.
Oh, no hit point damage. You're just doing good.
Just one hit point damage.
Okay, then never mind.
I managed, right?
You're at a minus. We'll say a -3 to treat Gus because the situation's still bad, but it has gotten comparatively much better.
Does Vance take Eloise's direction and come help?
No, he does actually need to try and prep Eloise's hip to receive a prosthetic limb.
Well, look at that. That's 5 hits. He's fine.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, no
Porter,
worries.
you've already treated this injury on yourself. This is so much easier. You know the
Right.
configuration you need to put your med kit into. You like synthesize the serums. You patch on these parts onto Gus's body. Gus, you feel these sharp pains as on each of these nodes, like dozens of needles all kind of just like inject at the same time. And there's a sharp pain in your body as like good stuff is put in and bad stuff is pulled out. And then you drop down and these pieces kind of fall off of you, and the like flow of blood coming out of your orifices subsides.
And
Yeah.
as he kind of finishes up, and he says, "So as she was up there, walking among the stars and the sea above, did she ever see the fish god up there?"
No, it's different story, and it's not technically a fish god, but everybody says it's a fish god. Okay, I have to,
Well,
maybe
whatever they call him, you better thank him now.
yeah.
Maybe I'm right.
Thank you, fish. Hey, thank you, Porter. Maybe I'm not okay. Maybe I'm not so old. Maybe the Raven's old. Raven's
no,
old. I'm
You're
young.
still pretty old. You're just not quite as old as him.
Fine. Yeah, no, I'm old.
uh,
Thank you, Porter. Oh dang.
the what little fires existed still in the archives dwindled down to embers. Smoke kind of settling and slowly wafting out of this hallway. Any sign of what Leo Riggs was gone, except for a scuffed, almost broken shield on the ground and a repeater dart pistol as well. Every other aspect of his
Not
being,
even the green glasses.
Not even the glasses.
and the broken green
There we
glasses
go.
that did fall off
There it
when
is.
he took the form of the Raven.
Dex breaks all of that shit. Like, Dex goes over to this shield, takes out the laser pistol that he got from Fly and vaporizes it.
Yep.
Goes over to the repeater and just stomps on it, and then, like, kicks the glasses into the wall and they shatter.
Yep. And you destroy all three objects. And as the smoke begins to settle and Eloise begins construction of her new leg, all of you can take a moment, get a grip for surviving a dangerous situation. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
I really thought for a moment that you were going to be like, and then the roof collapsed.
With the Raven, nevermore is the achievement we all got.
The achievement is called Nevermore.
Yeah.
40 gamer points. Yeah.
And for those who want, I did finish the Squonkentines emo.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it.
Let me turn up the brightness on my phone, my janky phone brightness. Oh my god.
Meanwhile, we're going to be moving into the Q&A section. I know we have quite a bit of Q&A because we were off for a couple weeks, so we're going to dive right into this.
First one I saw in the chat. Yeah, I don't think it was ever brought up, but Gus got the tier 4 enlightenment talent, Talismonger. Oh my god.
Too cute. It's too cute.
It's too cute.
The holiday squonk is amazing. Valentine's squonk is great.
Squonk. Absolutely adorable. Oh no, what away. But yeah, Gus got Talismonger. So now he can be distracted by the cute drawing. Brain. He can cast insight powers into his triptych symbol and activate them for later use, and also gets a little bit better at somatic powers in general.
Yep.
You can also have them activate upon triggered things, not requiring your actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So other questions in the Discord. If you have any other questions, drop them in the chat. We're gonna plow through these because we've gone. Obviously, we didn't take a break because everything was too intense, and now we've gone a little late because everything was so intense. So we're gonna power through these. Argitlam asks: a 4-man shuttlecraft crashes to manifest after drifting in orbit for over 400 years. How many tech and machinery cubes do you get for salvaging it? How many successful shoot the moon rolls do you need to repair it instead? I love that.
I'll tell you, you get a bunch of tech and machinery cubes, but you get something else as well.
Oh,
Or well, no, never mind. I'm wrong. I'm dumb and wrong.
If you're thinking about Spurs, you're right.
Okay, I'm right. I didn't know if that was available canon.
Yeah, no, I've actually answered a question about that on
Cool. I panicked
stream.
for a second whenever I was quiet about it.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're right.
would you
Yeah,
care
you get
to
a ton of-
elaborate for the viewers?
First off, you get a ton of spurs because spurs are specifically made from the like reflective coating of that allows spacecraft to enter orbit. So you can take all that stuff off and literally basically it's practically a printing press.
You lose probably a little bit in the machinery or tech cubes in doing so, but you can buy machinery and tech cubes with the spurs, and it's more spurs.
Way more as spurs.
So I would say you probably, if you spend it would take you a very long time to salvage it. We're talking a class 4 salvage. Every roll is gonna take a long time, but the maximum amount that you could probably get from it, just on a whim. I mean, it depends on the class of the spacecraft and all that other stuff. Just on a whim, I decided you could get 124 machinery cubes and 92 tech cubes. If you were to fully salvage this thing. Every success you roll gives you one of those 2 types of cubes, and every roll will take you a long time.
It's 2 weeks at base.
Is that for the or no, that's for crafting, and salvaging is slightly different.
Oh, is it half or something?
Salvaging a class 4, every roll is 6 hours. So every roll, you can get as many successes you roll, lets you choose between tech and machinery cubes until you hit the maximum of 124 machinery cubes or 92 tech cubes. And every roll is 6 hours. So it will take you quite some time to fully salvage that, leaving you...
You got a mine at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's my off the cuff decision there. And then, you would also get effectively a bunch of spurs. You get basically a specific material that was separate from tech or machinery cubes that you would be able to sell to Factory Town for a significant amount of money because it would let them print more spurs. So yeah, there's that. And as far as how many successful shoot the moon rolls you need to repair it instead, all right, 1 for navigation, 1 for thrusters, 1 for it's not 1.
Hey, listen, when Tommy runs the game, it's not 1. If I'm gonna let you shoot the moon on this bad boy, you get it in 1, but oh my god, let me tell you what happens if you fuck it up. It's so bad.
I mean, basically your Omni, like, because like people on Manifest do not know how like space flight works, your Omni tool would look at the stuff to repair and go, what the hell even is this?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I would say 1 for nav, 1 for thrusters, and 1 for like the body at least. Those would be like my three. I'd probably have you shoot the moon 3 times. And if you succeed on all 3, then you have a functional spaceship.
My question is, where are you going?
Yeah.
Base.
Well, scratch.
Honestly, actually, anywhere. Fast.
Go into orbit, come back down.
Yeah, I'm over here. It's 1. If you do it, you fix it. If you don't, I'm sorry. You're dead. You've overloaded the engine, and it's gone critical.
And now there's a crater where you once were.
There's a crater. There's a new thing on the map.
You fixed it, and you fly straight into the sun, outer world style.
I think you calculate this jump.
Basically build a camp around there, have a crew making sure there's food and drink for the workers. Okay. Argitlam also asks, let's build Cid del Norte Marquez, the resident Cid of Final Fantasy VI, and Cid Polydina, the resident Cid of Final Fantasy IV. I'm not familiar with either of these Cids. Notable traits for Cid del Norte Marquez, legendary engineer who designed the process for infusing magic into humans and machines, lover of plants, manages to build a seaworthy raft out of an island with no visible plant life while surviving off of the land and sea in a dying world for an entire year while tending to a critically injured party member the entire time. All right, well, obviously this dude has know-how, and he has invested heavily into almost all of it.
This is a wild one tinkerer.
That's kind of what it seems like. This dude. I don't know if his other talent trees matter. I think he spent 2/3 of his talent trees just like full on, like a bunch of his talent points just full on filling out the like know-how tree.
He's got all of know-how and then the right side of metal.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He's got metal and know-how. The third tree doesn't matter because he didn't spend any points in it. Yeah, because with know-how you can be extremely good at medicine. You can be able to fabricate things into other things that you need. So if you need a tech cube, you can turn machinery cubes into tech cubes. You can craft things for cheaper and faster. You can be extremely good at crafting. You can craft in the middle of a fight. Just all these fucking things that this person seems like they would need to have. And then, some metal stuff to make them extremely good at the outdoors. That's wild. That's super wild. And his third talent tree doesn't matter. Let's call it Moxie because he seems cool.
I think it's enlightenment.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's enlightenment because he wants transfer power, but alas, does not have the points for it.
An illuminated tinker. Notable traits.
Wild. Can you imagine if someone played an illuminated tinker?
That would be nuts.
Ah, really?
That sounds boring.
Notable traits for Cid Polydina. Pilot, engineer who can quickly and accurately identify structural statistics of anything and everything, will absolutely smash you with a hammer, survives exploding a gigantic bomb to knock out several airships while falling hundreds of feet. Okay, so what? Vigilance, hardiness, brawn? Is that what I'm looking at here?
What it seems like.
He doesn't necessarily need vigilance.
I think he wants vigilance more than he wants know-how, because the know-how talents don't necessarily help you do the things it says he does, but I think he's got good reasoning and machinery and technology.
Yeah. And vigilance makes him a good pilot. Brawn will make him be able to fucking beat the shit out of you with a hammer.
Hardiness lets him survive falls from great heights.
Yep. Hardiness makes him tough. You shrug it off, you go to 0 hit points, you get back up. Okay, this is a question from Manifest, asking what happens if it snows on the Great Salt Flats?
It melts pretty quickly.
Certainly not too hard to walk.
What do you, I'm leaving this open for Addie to answer.
I don't actually.
It would probably disrupt significantly if it snowed and stuck.
Yeah.
It would disrupt significantly the nomad packs that make it their business to cross them regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what the real crux of it is that it would have to be so cold.
There's a climate crisis.
Yeah.
The answer.
I mean, that's true because it is part of the warmer parts of Manifest.
On the salt flats it would have to be so cold. It would have to be below 10 degrees Fahrenheit in a part of the world that's traditionally like the lows at night are sitting at like 70.
It's
so
like The Day After Tomorrow, the movie.
Yeah, at that point, really everybody's moved to San Cordero and Ion Harbor because there's nothing left.
The answer is if it snows on the salt flats, it's so bad in Liberty.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter what happens to the salt flats. It matters that the rest of the planet is encased in ice.
We live in the wastes now.
It's not the wastes anymore, you see?
Yeah, it's just nice.
It's the garden. It's the garden too.
The sulfur dune's looking real nice right about now.
Yeah.
Okay, and then next up from Argitlam, let's build Tunnel Armor, an early game boss from Final Fantasy VI. It is basically a treaded armored motorcycle that has 2 drilling arms on either side of the pilot seat. And armed with a laser for good measure. Admittedly, most of these mods probably wouldn't fit onto a motorcycle. This is true. So a car would probably work just as well. Note, it is totally valid to say this is basically just a proto-martyr ground attack vehicle, because like any good Final Fantasy boss, it explodes when it's killed. Dan can absolutely answer this one.
Okay. So I'm not going to go the whole length of looking up mods and figuring out exactly how you need to do it to a T, because it's quite late. But I'll do it in the Discord tomorrow after work. But off the top of my head, it's probably... Here's what I think you do. I think you make a motorcycle with ramming plates and treads, which I'm pretty sure you can do. Motorcycle doesn't have a ton of mod points, but I think it's got enough for that. And then you have on your armor a shoulder mount, and that's got a laser gun. And the ramming plates are the drills. Your shoulder mount is the laser gun.
Why not a driver-operated weapon?
Because you don't have the mod points, I think, to get the treads and the ramming plates and the weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a motorcycle. On a car, I think you could absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But motorcycle is relatively tight on mod points, and like treads are a decent amount. The real thing is the weapon. The weapon mount is like a pretty good chunk of mod points. Motorcycles can like pretty easily be made like very fast and agile, or like fast or agile, and they have another trick on them, something like treads or ramming plates or things of that nature, right? But they can't quite be the kitchen sink that this bad boy is.
Mhm.
If you made it a car or a van, now you're talking.
Yeah. I think this thing is probably a car.
Yeah, it looks like a car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do think that uses up all of our Twitch stream questions from the Discord. We answered the one that we had earlier about how Gus has the talisman tier 4 talent in the Enlightenment tree. And I don't see any other questions here. I got some people talking about orbital hops are a very fast way of getting around the globe. Describes his character art in a nutshell. Great. All right, cool. We are done. We are done with this episode. We have run the gamut. You guys have defeated Leo Riggs and the Raven. Congratulations.
The long-term project has been completed.
Yay.
Congratulations. We will pick up February 22nd. Tuesday, February 22nd, we will be streaming at 8 p.m. Central, episode 47 of this campaign. It is winding down, but I've claimed a leg. I'm satisfied.
I've never seen him satiated on leg before.
Yeah, well, I like to branch out, and I dabble in other limbs.
Told me you were only arms.
He's an ambivore.
Chris, we need to end. We need to leave.
All right,
I need to leave this stream.
We will see you guys next week, 8 p.m. Central, Tuesday the 22nd. We love you all so much. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you to everyone for watching. We'll see you. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.